വളരെ ലൈവായി ഇപ്പൊ ലൈവ് സ്ട്രീംഡ് ആയി. ഷഫാത്ത് തുടങ്ങട്ടെ.
ദീപക് ഒരു ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് സ്ക്രീൻ ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല.
ഷഫാത്ത് എന്താണ് അവിടെ?
ദീപക് അറിവില്ല, ലൈവ് സ്ട്രീമിംഗ് ഉണ്ടോ അതിന്?
നമുക്ക് ആദ്യത്തെ നമുക്ക് ലൈവ് സ്ട്രീമിംഗിന്റെ ആവശ്യമില്ല.
കാണിക്കേണ്ടത് ലൈവ് സ്ട്രീമിംഗ് ഓപ്ഷൻ.
ഹലോ ദീപക് സാർ,
പറഞ്ഞോ.
സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാം.
എടാ ഇത് ഇവരുടെ സ്ക്രീൻ ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല എന്ന് പറയണ്ടല്ലോ.
അതല്ല, ലൈവ് സ്ട്രീമിംഗ് മേ ബി
ലൈവ് സ്ട്രീമിംഗ് ഡിസ്കണ്ടിന്യൂ ചെയ്തോ? ലൈവ് സ്ട്രീമിംഗിന്റെ ആവശ്യമില്ല.
ദീപക്, എനിക്ക് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ഞാൻ ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കുമ്പോഴേ ഷഫാത്ത് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ഡിസേബിൾ ഷെയർ എന്ന് കാണിക്കണം.
അതന്നെ എനിക്ക് സെയിം മെസ്സേജ് വരുന്നുണ്ട്.
എന്താ ഇഷ്യൂ? എന്താ സാർ അത് സെറ്റിംഗ്സ് ഒന്ന് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്, ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്.
ഓക്കെ ഹോസ്റ്റ് ഡിസേബിൾ അറ്റൻഡീ സ്ക്രീൻ ഷെയറിംഗ്, അവിടുത്തെ സെറ്റിംഗ്സ് ഒന്ന് ചെയ്യണം.
ഹലോ ദീപക് സാർ, നമ്മളൊന്ന് ലീവായിട്ട് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യാമേ.
ഞങ്ങൾ ലീവ് ചെയ്യണോ?
അല്ല, നിങ്ങൾ ലീവ് ചെയ്യണ്ട, നമ്മളെ ലീവ് ചെയ്യാം, എന്നിട്ട് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യാം.
ദീപക്കിന് ഞങ്ങൾ പറയുന്നത് കേൾക്കണില്ലേ? അല്ലേ,
കേക്കുണ്ട്, എനിക്ക് കേൾക്കാനുണ്ട്.
എന്താ അടുത്തേക്ക് വരുന്നിങ്ങനെ?
അത് എന്റെ ഫോണിന്റെ കുഴപ്പമാണ്.
മൊബൈൽ ഫോണില അതാ കാര്യം.
ഞാൻ വിചാരിച്ചു പ്രായമായപ്പോഴേ ചെവിയുടെ പ്രശ്നം ഉണ്ടത് കുറച്ച്. മറ്റേ ഞാൻ തമാശ പറഞ്ഞ നമ്മളെ അവിടെ വീഡിയോ കുറിച്ച് അറിയാം. മറ്റേ ഞങ്ങൾ പറയുന്നത് മറ്റേ അതിന്റെ അകത്തുണ്ടല്ലോ, ഓൾഡ് ആൻഡ് ന്യൂ, നൗ ദെൻ നൗ, എല്ലാം അടിപൊളിയുണ്ട്. അത് എനിക്ക് ഭയങ്കര നൊസ്റ്റാൾജിക് ആയി. നൗ ദെൻ നൗ
യുഎയിലൊക്കെ ഭയങ്കര വൈറലായിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്.
ഏത്
ഡാൻസ് വീഡിയോ ഒക്കെ?
ഡാൻസ് വീഡിയോ പിന്നെ നമ്മൾ AI വീഡിയോ GPയുടെ
എല്ലാം നല്ല ഹിറ്റ് ആയിട്ടുണ്ട്.
നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സമ്മതിച്ചു? എത്ര സമയം അതിന് സമ്മതിച്ചു?
നമ്മുടെ റിയൽ ഡാൻസ് വരുന്നല്ലോ, റിയൽ ഡാൻസ് സ്റ്റേജിൽ കയറി.
എനിക്ക് കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട് ജൂലിയസിന്റെ പഴയ കുറച്ച് നൊസ്റ്റാൾജിക് ഫോട്ടോസ് കണ്ടു. ഈ ജൂലിയസ് നിൽക്കണം, എന്ത് രസം കാണാൻ അറിയോ
സ്റ്റേജിലല്ലേ?
അല്ല, സ്റ്റേജിലല്ല. ദീപക് കുറെ ഫോട്ടോ വീഡിയോ ചെയ്തപ്പോഴേ നമ്മളെ പഴയ ഫോട്ടോസിന്റെ ഒരു കളക്ഷൻ ചെയ്തല്ലോ. അതില് പ്രവീൺ ജേക്കബിന്റെയും ജൂലിയസിന്റെയും ഒന്നിച്ചുള്ള കുറെ ഫോട്ടോസ് ഉണ്ട്. ഇവര് നമ്മൾ ആ സമയത്ത് ലാസ്റ്റ് ടൈമിൽ ഭയങ്കര തിക്കാണ്, ബോബനും മുകളിലാണ് വിളിച്ചിരുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങളുടെ ആ ഒരു ഫോട്ടോ കുറെ എന്ത് രസം കാണാൻ, പഴയ ഫോട്ടോ രസം കാണാൻ, നൊസ്റ്റാൾജിക് ആയിരുന്നല്ലോ.
പഴയ കാലത്തെ ഫോട്ടോസ് ഒക്കെ എനിക്ക് അങ്ങനെ അറിയില്ല. ഇവന്റെ എല്ലാം എവിടെ നിന്ന് കിട്ടിയെന്ന് അറിയില്ല.
നിങ്ങളുടെ കൽക്കട്ട ഫോട്ടോ ടോപ്പാ. ഈയും ഷാജും പ്രവീണും ജോബി ചിക്കൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കി കഴിക്കുന്ന ഫോട്ടോസ്. കൽക്കട്ട എന്താണത്? ചിക്കൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കി ആട്ട കുഴക്കി ഏറെ കാണാൻ.
കുറെ നാളെ അവരുടെ ഭക്ഷണം കഴിച്ചിട്ടേ പിന്നെ നമ്മള് ചിക്കൻ വാങ്ങിച്ച് കറി വെച്ചത്.
അതെ,
നിങ്ങൾ ഇതിന് പോയത് ട്രെയിനിങ്ങിന് പോയതല്ലേ?
ആ
പക്ഷേ
ട്രെയിനിങ് ആദ്യത്തെ
I don't know if this is being live streamed or not. Maybe personal talks.
സാർ
ഹായ്.
സാർ ഇപ്പൊ
Hello.
ചെക്ക് ചെയ്ത് നോക്കൂ.
ഇപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് പറ്റുന്നില്ല. ഹോസ്റ്റ് ഡിസബിൾ അറ്റൻഡീസ് സ്ക്രീൻ ഷെയറിംഗ് അങ്ങനെയാണ് കാണുന്നത്. ദീപകിനെ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടോ ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാൻ?
ഞാൻ മൊബൈൽ ഫോണിൽ നിന്നാ.
അത് ഓപ്ഷൻ ഓപ്പൺ ഓക്കെയാണോ? ജിമ്മിക്ക് പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടോ?
ഇല്ല, എനിക്ക് അതേ മെസ്സേജ് വരുന്നു നീ പറഞ്ഞ മാതിരി. ഹോസ്റ്റ് ഡിസബിൾ
അറ്റൻഡീസ് സ്ക്രീൻ ഷെയറിംഗ്.
യെസ്, സെയിം തിങ്.
എന്തോ ഒരു സെറ്റിംഗ് അവിടുന്ന് മാറ്റണം. ഞങ്ങള് പോയിട്ട് ഒന്നും കൂടി കയറണോ? നമ്മൾ പുറത്തിറങ്ങി കയറണം ഒന്നും കൂടി. ഹലോ, Snaf Kusad is the host now. Okay.
സാർ ഒന്നുകൂടി ഒന്ന് നോക്കൂ.
ഇപ്പൊ ഓക്കെ. കറക്റ്റ്. കാണാണ്ടോ?
അപ്പൊ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ട്.
ഞാൻ ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ആ ജിമ്മിനിക്ക് കാണാണ്ടല്ലോ. ജിമ്മി ഞാൻ സ്ക്രീൻ ചെയ്യട്ടെ ആദ്യം.
ചെയ്തു.
ഓക്കെ അല്ലേ? ഇപ്പൊ കാണാനില്ലേ?
കാണാനുണ്ട്.
ഇത് നമ്മളിപ്പോ ഇത് ലൈവ് സ്ട്രീം ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടോ? എങ്ങനെയാണ്? How is it? ദീപക്,
ഇത് ബേസിക്കലി ലൈവ് സ്ട്രീം ചെയ്ത് യൂട്യൂബിനകത്ത് അത് റെക്കോർഡായിട്ട് കിടക്കും. അപ്പൊ നമ്മുടെ ബാച്ച്മേറ്റ്സിന് അത് വീണ്ടും കേൾക്കണമെങ്കിൽ അത് കേൾക്കാനായിട്ട് ഒരു ഓപ്ഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. വേറെ
ഓപ്പൺ ടു പബ്ലിക് എന്നുള്ളതല്ലേ കിടക്കുവോ?
സാർ അത് പ്രൈവറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് സ്ട്രീം ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും.
ഇത് പ്രൈവറ്റ് സ്ട്രീമിംഗ് ആണ്.
അതെ.
ഓക്കെ. അപ്പം നമുക്ക് ബാച്ച്മേറ്റ്സ് അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റാത്തവർക്ക് പിന്നീട് കേൾക്കാനായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഓപ്ഷൻ ആയിട്ടാണ് മെയിൻ ആയിട്ട് വരുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ.
അതെ, പ്രൈവറ്റ് സ്ട്രീമിംഗ് ചെയ്യണോ?
Private streaming means
only those who have the link can watch it.
that is better, no? അല്ലേ?
Yeah, that is better.
അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യണം നമ്മള്. തുടങ്ങട്ടെ?
പ്രൈവറ്റ് സ്ട്രീമിംഗ് ചെയ്യണോന്ന് ചോദിച്ചായിരുന്നു പുള്ളി, അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ചോദിച്ചത്.
അല്ല, നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത് പ്രൈവറ്റ് സ്ട്രീമിംഗ് ആണെന്ന് പറയാ.
ഓക്കെ, ശരി.
ദീപക് എങ്ങനെയാ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്? ഇൻട്രോ സംതിങ്
നിങ്ങളൊന്ന് ഇൻട്രോ ചെയ്യാം.
ഓക്കെ.
ഷഫാദ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യട്ടെ?
യെസ് സർ.
ഓക്കെ. അപ്പോ ഗുഡ് ഈവനിങ് എവരിബഡി. ഇന്ന് നമ്മൾ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് 3 പേര് ഒരുമിച്ച് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ക്യാമ്പസ് ടു കരിയർ സെഷൻ ചെയ്യാൻ പോവാണ്. അപ്പോ ഇതില് ഒരാള് സുധീഷ് രാമദാസൻ, രണ്ടാമത്തത് പ്രവീൺ ജേക്കബ്, മൂന്നാമത്തത് ജിമ്മി. ഇവരില് സുധീഷ് കേരളത്തിൽ തന്നെ ഉണ്ട്, പക്ഷെ ആള് തിരൂരാണ്. നീ തിരൂരല്ലേ ഇപ്പൊ?
അതെ.
പിന്നെ പ്രവീൺ ജേക്കബ് സൗദിയിലും ജിമ്മി ഷാർജയിലാണ്. എന്തായാലും ഓൺലൈനായിട്ട് ഇനിയിപ്പോ നമ്മുടെ റീയൂണിന്റെ തലേ ദിവസം എത്തുള്ളൂ. അപ്പോ അതുകൊണ്ട് വേറെ ഓപ്ഷൻ ഇല്ല ഇപ്പൊ ഓൺലൈനായിട്ട് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട്. അപ്പോ കഥകളിലേക്ക് കിടക്കാം. ഒന്ന്, ജിമ്മിക്ക് പിന്നെ ഫേമസ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കഥയുണ്ട്. ആള് കൊച്ചിൻ പോകുന്ന വഴി റോഡ് ക്രോസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോ ട്രാഫിക് ലൈറ്റ് അവിടെ കണ്ടു. അപ്പൊ ആ ട്രാഫിക് ലൈറ്റിന്റെ അടിയിൽ സ്റ്റോപ്പ് വാച്ച് ആൻഡ് പ്രൊസീഡ് എഴുതിയിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ആൾ എന്നിട്ട് റിലീജിയസ്ലി വാച്ച് സ്റ്റോപ്പ് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് റോഡ് ക്രോസ് ചെയ്തത്. അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു കഥ ജിമ്മിയുടെ പേരിലുണ്ട്. പിന്നെ പോരാത്തതിന് ആള് ഹോസ്റ്റലിൽ രാത്രി ഉറങ്ങുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് ഒരു കൊല പഴം വറക്കാനുള്ള എണ്ണ തലയിൽ പുരട്ടിയിട്ട് പോയി കിടന്ന് ഉറങ്ങുന്ന പാർട്ടിയാണെന്നുള്ളൊരു കഥയും കൂടെ ഉണ്ട്. പിന്നെ പ്രവീൺ ആണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ എന്താ പറയണേ, അന്ന് ഇപ്പൊ കുറച്ച് മുടി കുറവാണെങ്കിലും അന്ന് ഒരു ഷൈനിങ് ഫിലിം സ്റ്റാർ ലുക്ക് ആയിരുന്നു. ഇപ്പോഴും ഉണ്ട്.
ഇപ്പൊ ഒരു ഓൾഡ് ഫിലിം സ്റ്റാർ ലുക്ക് അല്ലേ?
അപ്പൊ
ശരിക്കും ഷൈൻ ചെയ്യണത് ഇപ്പോഴാണ് ഷൈനിങ് ആയത് അല്ലേ?
പ്രവീണും സുധീഷും പണ്ട് ബൈക്ക് ഓടിച്ച് പോയിട്ട് ഒരു കാള ഇടിച്ച കഥയൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട്. രാത്രി അതുപോലെ തന്നെ പ്രവീൺ
പാരന്റ്സിന്റെ ഒരു പ്രാർത്ഥനയോട്ടൊക്കെ രക്ഷപ്പെട്ടതാ.
എക്സ്ട്രീംലി കോഷ്യസ് ആൻഡ് കെയർഫുൾ പേഴ്സൺ ആണ്. ഒരു റിസ്ക് വെറുതെ അനാവശ്യമായിട്ട് എടുക്കുന്ന പാർട്ടിയല്ല. അപ്പൊ പ്രത്യേകിച്ചുള്ള ഒരു കഥ, ഈ ക്രിക്കറ്റ് കളിക്കുമ്പോൾ ആള് ബാറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ ഇറങ്ങുമ്പോൾ അവിടെ കാണുന്ന എല്ലാ പാഡും എടുത്തിടും, കാലിലും കയ്യിലും തോളത്തും നെഞ്ചത്തും കഴുത്തിലും. ഇനി ബാക്കിൽ വല്ല ഇടാൻ വല്ല പാഡ് ഉണ്ടോ എന്ന് ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള പാർട്ടി വരെയാണ് ഇത്. അപ്പൊ ആളങ്ങനെ ഒരു 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 എന്തായാലും ഒരു ഫൺ പേഴ്സണാലിറ്റിയാണ്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ സുധീഷ് പിന്നെ എന്താ പറയണ ഒരു ഇപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇന്ന് മനസ്സിലാവും, അതായത് ഇന്ന് നിങ്ങളുടെ ഈ സെഷൻ തീരില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് സുധീഷ് ആദ്യം വർത്താനം പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാല് ജിമ്മി നിനക്കും പ്രവീണും സംസാരിക്കാൻ ചാൻസ് കിട്ടില്ല. നിങ്ങൾ ആദ്യം സംസാരിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നെ പിള്ളേർക്ക് ഇന്ന് വീട്ടിൽ പോകാൻ പറ്റില്ല. കാരണം
അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ സുധീഷിന്റെ കൂടെ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്.
പ്രവീൺ ചേക്കപ്പ് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് സ്ലൈഡിന്റെ എണ്ണം എല്ലാം കുറച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഞങ്ങള് പവർഫുൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ജിമ്മിയെ കൂടി കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് സ്ലൈഡിന്റെ എണ്ണം നല്ല കുറച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്.
ടൈമിൽ ഫിനിഷ് ചെയ്യുക, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പിള്ളേര് പതുക്കെ എഴുന്നേറ്റ് പോകും. നീ അവിടെ ഇരുന്ന് വർത്താനം പറയും, അവരാരും കൂടെ ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. അപ്പം സുധീഷ് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ലൈഫ് ബ്രാൻഡാണ്. എല്ലാവരുടെയും കഥകള് ഓർമ്മിച്ചു വെക്കും, എല്ലാവരുടെയും കഥകള് പുതിയത് മസാല ചേർത്ത് ഉണ്ടാക്കും. അങ്ങനത്തെ കുറെ പ്രത്യേക കഴിവുകളുള്ള ഒരു വ്യക്തിയാണ്. ഹൈലി ഒരു ഡോക്ടറും കൂടെയാണ്, PhD ഒക്കെ എടുത്തു സ്ട്രാത്ക്ലൈഡിൽ നിന്ന്. ഇപ്പൊ UK-ലാണ് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ ഒരു ഫേമസ് വേർഡ് കോയിൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതായത് നമ്മുടെ ബാച്ചിൽ കുറെ പേര് മമ്മൂട്ടി ആണെന്നുള്ള ഒരു ധാരണയുള്ള ആൾക്കാരൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. മമ്മൂട്ടി, പൃഥ്വിരാജ്, കാംബ്ലി. അപ്പൊ ആളുടെ ഒരു ടേം ആയിരുന്നു, ഇപ്പൊ ഷബീർ മമ്മൂട്ടിയാണെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഷബീറാണ് പാവങ്ങളുടെ മമ്മൂട്ടി. അങ്ങനെ പാവങ്ങളുടെ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു ടേം കോയിൻ ചെയ്തത് സുധീഷാണ്. അത് ഇപ്പോഴും നമ്മുടെ ബാച്ചില് റെഗുലർ ആയിട്ട് തമാശക്ക് പറയുന്ന ഒരു വാക്കാണ്. അപ്പൊ എന്തായാലും ടൈം വേസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല, നിങ്ങൾ യു ഗൈസ് ഗോ ഹെഡ്. ഞാൻ ഇത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഞാൻ ലോഗ് ഓഫ് ചെയ്യും കുറച്ചു നേരത്തിനുള്ളിൽ. ഓക്കെ, ഓവർ ടു യു.
മുങ്ങെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാ പോരെ, ഇങ്ങനെ ഹൈടെക് മറ്റേ ലോഗ് ഓഫ് എന്നുള്ള ജാർഗൺസ് ഒക്കെ കോട്ട് ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യമുണ്ടോ? ഞാൻ മുങ്ങെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാ പോരെ. ശരി,
ഓക്കെ ദീപക്, താങ്ക് യു.
താങ്ക് യു ദീപക്.
ശരി, shall we start?
സുധീഷ് തുടങ്ങിക്കോ.
Okay. First of all, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to present to the aspirants of the department. It's always a pleasure and privilege to interact with our own department and with all the students and faculty there. And so today, so we are having a joint presentation. So myself is presenting along with Praveen Jacob, and we have taking fully into considerations Deepak's warning. We have done our best to make it concise so that I won't go overboard. So today we hope to share our experience. We hope to share our humble experience with you, so that if so that there could be something of value to you, and there is something which is able to potentially answer at least some of the uncertainties what you have in your mind. So Praveen Jacob is presently working with Jana Marine as their manager of new build and proposals. So Jana Marine is a very promising or very dynamically growing vessel owning and managing company in Middle East, in Saudi Arabia. They're having a fleet of top-notch, or they are having a fleet of new generation, state-of-the-art vessels, including lift boats. So on the left, so let me take the pointer here. So this is the new generation or the state-of-the-art lift boat, which is owned by Jana Marine, and they are having a fleet of lift boats of around 10 vessels. And Praveen is the man who is ensuring that these vessels are built to the specs and they are delivered and they're operated well. And I am working with Cyber Marine. Cyber Marine is basically a consultancy. So we are into maritime design, ship design, small ship design, then engineering, as well as into certain specific ship software products. So on the right, this is a catamaran pilot station vessel, which was designed by Cybermarine this was done for Iraqi government, and it is plying in the Persian Gulf. So, when we were discussing, one of the main understanding what we could not have when we were passing out, and over the time what we could gather is that the maritime industry as a whole is much more versatile than what it is thought to be. So when I was passing out, or when we were passing out, so our understanding of maritime was it is one size fit all industry. But over the years, what we could understand is the maritime industry is diversified, or it is across various maritime segments which are having their own niche or their own uniqueness. So there are cargo ships, there is offshore oil and gas, which is also called as offshore assets like jackup rigs, FPSOs, and all those things. And there is an offshore support segment where there are a lot of vessels, like that is where Jana Marine is positioned. There are a lot of vessels, lift boats, and offshore supply support vessels, which support these oil and gas main assets like FPSOs and jackup. And there is a separate specific industry for yachts, which is called as pleasure. They are like our private vehicles. So it's a different industry segment. And there is an industry segment for marine civil. It's an extension of civil engineering, where you can see a lot of construction companies are operating. They build bridges, sea bridges, they develop ports. So they are having dry docks, they have floating dry docks. So then they are having dry dock gates. So these kind of things. And there are also port and harbor vessels like tugs, dredgers, and small transshippers and those kind of things. Floating jetties, floating berths, all those kind of assets. Then defense vessels require no introduction. They are naval vessels, that combat vessels as well as auxiliary support crafts. Then fishing vessels, it's an industry segment of its own niche, and it is highly traditional, and also there are some top-notch fishing vessels as well. And passenger vessels by itself is a different industry with all those cruise liners and cruise vessels. And offshore renewable is one upcoming segment, which is all about floating winds or floating solar, as well as we can also say floating tidal current devices, those kind of things. And there are also more to it. There is also a floating aquaculture, and but that is also upcoming. So maritime segments are vast and diverse, and there are opportunities across all these segments. Maybe it takes a little bit while for us to reach the correct segment. Now I will pass to Praveen to give an overview about the maritime career dispositions and other things. Praveen, please.
Hello, good evening, friends. I am Praveen Jacob here. Sudesh has already given a brief explanation about where I am working and my area of general expertise. So here in this slide, you can see what we are trying to show to you is the opportunities that lies ahead for you as you come out from this department. So even though we say that naval architecture and shipbuilding, the entire industry is far and wide beyond just two statements. If you look into this slide, you can see that our people are working in almost all of these fields in various positions. Though shipyard is the main industry where majority of our people are working, shipyard and the design firms. There are also other areas of expertise where naval architects and with the shipbuilding background people are in demand, high demand. If you just go by one, you can see we will start from academia. So those who want to do research and development and study further, there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of universities which are giving scholarships and grants for post-graduation studies and even to take doctorate. So Sudesh, my colleague, no, my batchmate, I would say, Sudesh and Mr. Pradeep, and I believe Binish, Caesar Edward, all have done post-graduation studies and even their doctorate. So those who have interest in pursuing their studies further high, you have a lot of opportunities in going to that research and development level. And again, and when it comes to designer firms, the design firms, basically they do the basic design firm. Now here I would like to say, most of the shipyards, they don't have, nowadays the shipyards don't keep, they don't keep a basic design team as such. Like I'm not saying about the government shipyards, but maybe private shipyards. What they do is that there are established basic design firms all over the world. So the shipyards get in touch with these design firms for their designs, and the drawings and everything. So design firms as such is a big industry where you can look into. And then it comes to the regulators are like, the flag. Every nation have their I would say a statutory body which enforces the laws or the regulations pursuant to shipping and shipbuilding. Almost all countries have these regulating bodies are connected with the International Maritime Organization, regulatory bodies of. So this is basically called the flag of each countries. Then we come to the vessel owner, which is just normal, like those people who are who pay the money and keeps the vessel as their asset, who owns the asset. Then we come to the class society classifications that you might have. I think most of my classmates have given a lot of talk about the class society and their roles in the shipbuilding industry. You must be well aware of class society is an area where naval architects have a good opportunity to pursue their career. A lot of our alumni are working in class societies. Then it comes to vessel manager. So vessel manager is like, now we talked about vessel ownership. So many owners, they depend on a specialized company called a ship management company or vessel management company. So which means that the owner will own the asset, but the asset is given to a ship manager to do the technical and operational management, including crewing and everything of the vessel. So owner will, it's like simple terms like leasing out, we can say, So all the technical knowledge, domain, everything will be with the vessel manager. So vessel managers, normally what we see is that in the vessel management company, marine engineers or the chief engineers are working as a superintendents. Mostly those who come out of the ships as captains and the chief engineers, they are employed much in the vessel management company. But of late we see a lot of naval architects also, after working in the shipyard and also after having more experience with the clients, they are also coming into the ship management field. So this is a good field or a good area where you can really explore and to venture, to get into more into it. Then we have the marine warranty team. This is normal, like the marine warranty, I would say, like, see, this is basically an insurance requirement. So every vessel have their hull and machinery insurance and cargo insurance. So all these people will need marine specialized people to, or I would say surveyors, specialized surveyors who would undertake or underwrite for these insurance, give the guarantee of the job. So this is marine warranty is a specialized job where both engineering knowledge and also practical knowledge is also required. For example, if a heavy lift vessel is transporting a heavy cargo from one place to another, there is a lot of engineering analysis to be done. as part of the lashing is concerned, and the entire towage is considered, and also a practical checking of these lashings and installations. So as a marine warranty surveyor is also, there is a lot of opportunity for naval architects. Then when it comes to logistics, we have one of our, Mr. Cyril Joseph Varghese. He is now he's a global logistic director for a big multinational American company. This is an area where not much of our people have entered into, but Cyril has proved that yes, with the naval architecture experience adds, or it heavily helps to climb up the ladder in the logistics field also. Sudesh, if you want to add something, you can just raise a hand and add.
No, it was good.
Okay. And then when it comes to digital tech is, I would say, the companies where Mr. Sudesh and all working, like Cybermarine, or the consultancy companies where they make the stability softwares, or cyber security platforms. A lot of specialized products which helps the ship owners in meeting the class regulations or the flag requirements, all those things. Then comes to the law and arbitration. Law and arbitration is an area where not much of our people are there, but maybe quite a few are there. But it is a very, very upcoming field where people who have the interest in, who don't have much of interest in drawing and all those things, but have a good way of looking critically into things and can talk better. Law and arbitration is a good field. There is a lot of universities now coming up with the maritime law and shipbuilding law and contractual laws. This is also a field where you can look into. Then the defense field, I mean, all of you know, I don't have to talk much about it. Then when it comes to shipyard, who really have that passion to see your drawing comes into a physical product, which what we have studied right from the college. It's a very interesting place to work in the shipyard. You must be already knowing about it, so I'm not expanding much about that. Okay, Sudesh, that's it.
This is your next slide.
Okay, here this is just a professional summary from my side. I started my career initially with Indian Register of Shipping as a surveyor. I was working in Vizag and in Kolkata. It is when I was working in the IRS, that gave me a good experience into shipbuilding, survey, and inspections, and all the basics. So with that experience, I was overseeing a lot of new building constructions in China, Vietnam, and I also worked in Japan. That is all the experience which I got from IRS as a surveyor. So most of my experience, I was working major time with Halul Offshore in Qatar. Halul Offshore is a ship owning company, something similar to Jana Marine, where I work now. So I was in charge of building offshore supply vessels there, and then I was also working for 6+ years in Cochin Shipyard as the marketing senior manager, where I was deeply involved with the ships with a lot of brokers, foreign brokerage firms, and all the cargo clients, basically from Germany and Norway. We used to get a lot of orders recently for Cochin Shipyard from Europe. So I was involved with many of the projects during that time. So after Cochin Shipyard, now I'm currently working with Jana Marine. It's only for 2 years now, just completing 2 years. Jana Marine, already Sudesh has initially given you a brief. Again, an offshore vessel owning company. Majority of the vessels are self-elevating, self-propelled self-elevating unit, which we also call the jack-up accommodation barges, which the picture you have seen in the first slide. So this is about me. That's it from me. Yeah, Sudesh, you can take it.
Thanks, Praveen. And thanks for the impressive experience. So back to me. That way, my experience is limited. I have always been with one company, though I was fortunate to work in various work in various geographical locations. So I started in Cybermarine along with Jimmy. That's another story we have. Then I continued, and then so I was in India. Then for a while I was with Cybermarine Singapore, and now presently since last 4 years I am a part of Cybermarine UK. So 4 years back we incepted a new entity in UK, and then I got the opportunity to move there and become a part of it. And I was very fortunate to have some opportunities to do some higher education. And after passing out from CUSAT, I did my MSc in Marine Technology from University of Strathclyde, UK, and later my PhD in Marine Technology from Newcastle University. So it was my UK background which gave me this opportunity to move to UK as a part of this expansion plan of Cybermarine. So my domains have been that way quite narrow. Right from the start, I was very much focused, or maybe I was not. To the other side is I was not. I never thought I am good in many other things. So I was very much stick to traditional design and engineering. I always stuck to very much traditional design and engineering. Also, Cybermarine having a division, Cybermarine having a division of division for digital technology products gave me certain opportunity to work to oversee that department and and to take part in development of technology products as well. So that's all. Now again, back to Praveen. Praveen?
I think I have already explained in my talk that, about the vessel awning. So this is basically just a pictures of the offshore supply vessels, which you must be knowing. The left side you can see is a self-elevating, self-propelled jack-up barge. These jack-up barges, it can propel on its own, but not in heavy seas, in a restricted environment. And it is used in offshore fields to support the oil platforms to do the work. So this can move from platforms to platform, where these legs are used to jack down, and the entire boat will be lifted up around 20 meters above the sea level. So these are these lift boats. This is basically called a lift boat. These lift boats are widely used now in the Middle East, both in almost all countries, both UAE also you can see, and in Saudi Arabia also. These are widely in use. And on the right-hand side, what you see here are the normal offshore supply vessels. These are called PSVs, platform supply vessels, and crew boats. The second and the third boats are the crew boats, or a fast crew boats, which supply crew and material from the berth to the offshore platforms. That's all. Yeah, Sudesh. Yes.
Thank you. So as mentioned, Cybermarine is into bespoke vessel designs. So there we were fortunate to have opportunities to design a variety of small vessels across various marine segments. So this is a landing, on the left is a landing craft, which was done for Indonesian inter-island operations. And this is a small offshore utility vessel, something of the like of a smaller version of what Genamarine is owning. And this is a floating crane, which is basically for transshipping cargo from small barges to mother vessels. This is a small jack-up barge, which is not the mini version of the lift boats what Genamarine has. This is used for construction. And this is a caisson gate, which is the door, or they call it is the door which shuts and opens the dry dock gates, gravity gates. And this is a small passenger ferry, cruise ferry, which is used for gaming, or it's a casino vessel active in Goa. Maybe many of you might have might have visited it, or you should once in a while. I hope all of you will visit it one day. And then this is a small tanker, 50-meter small tanker, which was done for government of Oman. And this is another gate, which is also dry dock gate, which is also called Lambda gate, which you can see other side there is water, this side is empty, people are standing. So this holds the water on one side and make sure the dry dock is empty. It's for the partitioning the dry dock into multiple small sub docks. And this is a head-shaped girder lifting vessel, which can lift girders of 2,000-ton bridge girders at a height of 30 meters, and which was used in the construction of the latest Adal Setu bridge in Mumbai. So that's all. And this is some learning, collective learning of mine and Praveen. So we regard all domains are equally good. There is, as we see, there is nothing superior, nothing inferior. All are equally good. It is what we like, our passions and priorities. So that is what gives us the long-term career satisfaction. All of us are in different, all our batchmates, we are in different areas, different domains. But all I've been doing well in their own ways, and they are all aligned with with what they like. And given a choice, it is always better to do something that one likes, because that helps you to continue and without much problem, because life has always plus and minus. But if you do something, if you can do something what we like, that keeps us moving. And collaboration is the key. The Westerners, why Westerners are ahead? Because we always talk. Me and Praveen, we discuss. We also have a special relationship of client and contractor. We work, Cybermarine work very closely with Jana Marine, and Praveen has been very instrumental in trusting us and giving us the opportunities. So we have a client contractor vendor relationship as well. And we understand collaboration is the key. Praveen, do you want to add something? That's all from me.
Yeah, it is good. I mean, one thing what I want to add is, see, you must, I think each one of you should find out what is your core passion, I mean, you should put some time or put some effort to find out your nature, to which career that you will suit best. That only you can decide. As we showed in the second page, there are numerous areas where naval architects can now get. I mean, where you can have your career, a growing career. There are numerous areas. So to find that particular area where your passion and where your what you want to become, that you must put some effort in finding that, and you must strive hard to reach that area of your expertise or your passion, rather than jumping and going to any job that is coming in front of you without looking money or without looking fame. I would suggest you must look into the area of your passion. Eventually or gradually, for long term, that will give you more satisfaction and a full career, with full satisfaction. This is important. And the last portion is also very important, like collaboration. We are all professionals in the professional industry. We must know each other's strengths and weakness, and how you build your networking relationship. All these are very important. Wherever you are, some of your friends or colleagues can help you with the work. When you're finding some difficulties in your job, you can, over a phone, you can call somebody. So this all comes with the collaboration and networking and a relationship. This is very important also. So that's it. And above, yeah. So kindly, I'll pass on to Jimmy without delay.
Yeah, Jimmy. No, I stop.
Jimmy, you can
Jimmy?
share your screen.
How do I stop?
Finished it? Yeah.
How can I stop?
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming.
I am seeing myself. How do I stop sharing? Yeah. Okay.
You can see my screen?
I can see myself. I am unable to stop. Yeah.
You can see?
Jimmy, now we can see you. Yes.
Yes.
Jimmy, you can proceed. You can maximize the screen and proceed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody.
Jimmy,
And
Jimmy,
thank
can
you
you
as
maximize it? Can you maximize it?
1 minute.
Praveen, are you able to see Jimmy's screen?
No, no.
You can see?
Yeah, now we can, yes.
Yeah.
How about
can
the
see?
students?
Right. Yes. Perfect.
Perfect.
Shafa? Yeah, okay.
So thank
Clear.
you once again for giving us to share our experience. And as Sudesh and Praveen said, I will just give a brief introduction about myself. Yeah, myself is Jimmy, working as estimation manager in Albody, earlier known as Albody, but now it is known as Diamond Shipyard Sharjah. And I started my career along with Sudesh in AB Marine. Now it is known as Cyber Marine. I worked
Jimmy,
nearly, yeah.
I think again I don't know whether your screen is coming.
You're going to.
No, I'll brief, then I will share the screen. Yeah. So,
Okay.
So I started my career along with Sudesh. We joined initially AB Marine, we four of us, and I continued there for nearly 1 year. Then after that, I got opportunity to work in Cochin Shipyard. I joined Cochin Shipyard in marketing and forward design, and I had opportunity to work with Mr. Madhu sir in forward design and marketing. And after that, I again joined. I got opportunity to work in hull production. And from Cochin Shipyard, I came to Diamond Shipyard Sharjah. You can hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
So
how about the
right
students?
now, pardon?
How about the students? Any feedback? Can they hear? Shafaq? I hope they can hear.
I
Shafaq,
can hear, no?
can you hear?
Yes, sir. We can hear.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So right now I am with Diamond Shipyard Sharjah, and I had opportunity to work in three multiple different areas in the ship building industry. First is I worked in ship in the design consultancy part. Then I moved to shipbuilding, and from there to ship repairs. And right now I'm working with commercial area. So I'll just start sharing my screen 1 minute. And as Praveen showed you the graph, we belong to the shipyard area. In shipyard, there is two divisions: shipbuilding and ship repair. And myself is working with ship repair. And I'll take an example of Diamond Shipyard Sharjah. In Diamond Shipyard Sharjah, we have both shipbuilding and ship repairs. In ship repairs, we can dock a ship using either a graving dock or a floating dock or a ship lift or a slipway. So in UAE or in GCC areas, most of the ships are docked either in a graving dock or in a ship lift. In Albody Dam, we are using a ship lift to dock all these vessels to be docked to carry out the dry docking repairs. Some of the advantages of ship lift are using a ship lift, we can dock many vessels at a time. Whereas in a graving dock, the number of vessels to be docked are very limited. And also, when a single vessel is not ready for undocking, it affects the undocking of all the other vessels. But by using a ship lift, we can undock vessels which are finished prior. Also, the ships are safely raised and lowered vertically in the shortest time. Also, we are using a flat surface to carry out dry docking repairs, then working in a deep dock chambers. But it also has some disadvantages of using the ship lift. The initial investment is high, the concentrate load issues, because we are using a ship lift. The ship lift is basically a ship platform which is operated using winches and wire ropes. So if the load of the vessel is more, the ship lift gets stripped and the undocking process is stopped. So there is some negative in that. And also the physical dimensions. The dimensions of the vessel which can be docked depends on the ship lift size based on the length and width of the ship lift, which our yard is owning. Example, in Albody Dam, the maximum length of the vessel that can be docked is 125 meter by 26 meter width. So a vessel bigger than that cannot be docked in a ship lift. Also, it has high operational cost because we are using winches, wire ropes, and a lot of mechanical systems, and we should have a lot of repair berths. Also, there are a lot of civil jobs, civil constructions, piling, everything, which adds to the operational cost and initial investment. And the other bottleneck is if the ship lift is the heart of the shipyard who is using ship lift, and if the ship lift is not operational due to some reasons, either a breakdown of a winch or due to some reason, the entire operations of the shipyard gets halted. Also, during shifting of the repair vessels from the ship lift to the repair berth, during shifting, the stability issues, some issues during transferring can cause the vessel to topple while transferring to repair berth. So these are some of the disadvantages of using a ship lift in a shipyard. So I have shown some pictures of some aerial views. You can see the aerial view of our shipyard, but it's not much clear. So I have attached a picture right hand side. You can see this is the ship lift area where the vessel is brought inside to be docked. So before that, there is a cradle arrangement to be prepared for docking of each vessel. So before the vessel is coming for docking, the dock master prepares a cradle arrangement to dock based on the lines plan. Every vessel has a dock plan. So based on that, a cradle arrangement is made. The cradle along with the trolleys are moved into the ship lift on the platform, and it is lowered under the water. And then the ship is towed inside the ship lift. Once it is sitting on the cradles, it is verified by the docking team and the diving team whether the vessel is sitting properly on the blocks. The platform is lifted using winches, and when it is in line with the dock floor, the vessel is pulled to the transfer pit. From there, the transfer pit, the vessel is shifted to various repair berths. This is the layout of a shipyard who is using a ship lift to dock their vessels. So you can see this is the ship lift or a lifting platform where the vessel is brought inside to dock the vessel. Once the vessel is lifted up, it is shifted to the transfer pit, the gray area. This gray area is connected to various repair berths. Example, we have around 7 repair berths. Repair berth number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So at a time, we can dock at least 7 full-fledged vessels up to 120 meters or double the vessels of half the length. So the vessel is shifted and it is berthed in one of the repair berths to carry out the repair jobs. And once the vessel is berthed there, then all the dry docking activity starts. And we have a lot of other workshop which is supporting, like the fabrication shop, machine shop, hull shop, blasting shed. This all supports the dry docking facility of this particular vessel along with the production team. So this is a layout of a shipyard, typical shipyard. And I said we are working in ship repair industry, and I am working in commercial, but ship repair activities we can divide into 4 types. Like one is the dry docking repairs, where the vessel has to be dry docked to carry out the repair job. For example, the hull preparation works, the shafting jobs, the anodes replacement, the bow thruster job, all these jobs, the vessel has to be docked. So vessel has to go to a shipyard, either to a graving dock or to a shipyard with ship lift area where the vessel has to be lifted up and carry out the mentioned jobs. If the vessel need not require the underwater works, then we can do the repair works using either alongside a shipyard or alongside any of the port. Then the third repair job is the voyage repairs. So if the vessel doesn't have time to stop or cannot find time to carry out, to come to a dry dock, and the job can be done along with the vessel with sailing. For example, the engine overhauling job, auxiliary engine, not the main engine, the auxiliary engine, one engine at a time can be done while the vessel is sailing. So it doesn't require the ship to be stopped at any of the port or at the anchorage, and the repair team be mobilized on board the vessel and sail with the vessel to do the job. Also, we can do some of the pipe jobs on main deck, steel job, which is above water, using a small riding gang. And the 4th type of job is a diving job. So all these categories are the various type of repairs that are happening in around the world. Diving is done by the divers, experienced divers. They go underneath the vessel and carry out various jobs like hand scrapping, polishing of propeller, some of the weld repairs. You can see the photos which I have shown. First is the dry docking repairs. Second is the offload repairs. You can see that it is a shell repair where we erected the staging and the shell plate is renewed. Cutting, fitting, and welding is going on. And voyage repairs, it is the sailing team which is riding along the vessel and doing the auxiliary engine without affecting the vessel's charter requirements. And fourth picture is the divers who are doing the underwater welding works. So these four categories are the jobs which are the repair activities. In that, I will go to first one. The dry docking repairs is the main repairs where the vessel requires to be dry berth. You can see when the vessel is brought to one of the repair berth, the initial job is to give all the connections, the cooling line, the firefighting line, the sewage connection. All the line connections are given. The staging is erected for carrying out the repair works. The fenders are lowered, dismantled, and lowered down for repairs. Then all the main mechanical items like the thrusters are dismantled and are taken to the mechanical workshop for overhauling. All these jobs happen in sequence and as per the planning. So when a vessel is dry docked, there are a lot of jobs. It can be a hull steel job, steel renewal. It can be the hull preparatory work starting from washing, high pressure washing, then grid blasting, painting as per the paint specification. Then we have the mechanical jobs. In the picture, you can see the thrusters are dismantled and put on the trailer to be transferred to the mechanical workshop for overhauling. The engine jobs, the motors, pumps, valves, deck jobs, the crane overhauling, the winches, capstan, everything is dismantled as per the sequence and as per the planning given to the production team. This all happens in sequence. And in the below picture, you can see the thrusters been overhauled and in the workshop, in the mechanical shop. And on board, engine overhauling and other mechanical jobs are going on. The windlass is overhauled and boxed up for ready for fitment. And finally, all these items, once the overhauling is completed, it is verified by the superintendent, including the surveyor, satisfied. Then it is brought back to the vessel. It is installed, tested. And after the painting is completed, or everything is dismantled, the connections, pipeline, staging, and the vessel is again ready to be undocked once it is verified by the QC and all the docking team and the owner's representative. The vessel is again shifted to the ship lift for undocking. You can see it is taken to the ship lift, it is lowered, and it is again berthed alongside after undocking. The other main job is doing a job in offload condition. The offload condition can be either alongside the shipyard or any of the ports where the vessel comes for discharging its cargo, or at anchorage. If the vessel need not come to port for any discharge, it can do these jobs at anchorage. So the team is mobilized to either to a port or to anchorage to do the repair works. It is known as offload repairs. I have given a sample offload job which was done alongside our shipyard. It was installation of a crane, 80-ton capacity crane on board a supply vessel. So the main task was fabricating a pedestal, then in situ machining of the flange, then installation of crane pedestal, boom rest, and the new crane, engineering for power distribution for the new crane, then hookup of 2 owner-supplied generators, and finally doing the inclining experiment. So some pictures of that, you can see the transition piece which we fabricated in the fabrication yard. By various process happens is first by the CNC cutting, then bending, then fitting and welding and doing the NDT test. The transition piece is ready. Then the cylindrical part, rolling and final welding and NDT. Once everything is completed, the 3 pieces are joined. It is welded. NDT is tested and verified by CLAST, and after completion of painting, it is lifted on board the vessel for installation. And final installation happens on the main deck in the offload condition. Using it is, you can see the crane taking this pedestal to install on board vessel. So once we install this pedestal on the main deck, the main issue is that due to the various distortion, due to the welding and the fit up, we have to do in situ machining of the flange, which is done after completion of the welding. And after that, we install the full crane, which comes as a single piece and is supplied by the owners. Then you can see the power distribution module taking shape here, the generators installed, and finally everything is hooked up, tested, and the crane is load tested. So this full job was carried out without docking, and it was carried out in the offload condition. So vessel need not be docked because the docking was not required to carry out this job. So this is one job where we did it alongside. The other some of the few jobs you can see is this job was done at anchorage. The job was for installation of the mooring choke and chain stopper. Basically, we mobilized a team from our main yard to anchorage. Usually we just arrange through a workboat. We have a repair workboat going to the vessel at anchorage, taking our repair team, steel material, equipment, consumables, everything to the main vessel where the job has to be done. Then all the tools, equipment, steel materials are lifted on board the vessel using vessel crane. And the job is done in position by erecting hanging scaffolding, doing all the reinforcement, then fitting the chokes and the chain stopper. You can see the new items installed in this picture. This also is an offload job, but done at that anchorage. Then other job is the side shell steel repair. This is a big VLCC. The vessel was halted at anchorage, and we had mobilized a steel team at anchorage to do this repair. And you can see the staging erected using the scaffolding team, then cutting and fitting of new plate by the fabrication team, and final welding by the welding and doing the NDT in the presence of class 2 verify. And it's ready for sailing off. Again, a steel jobs alongside a port. The photo shows the damaged transform plate renewed in the afloat condition. So the main job, the reason for showing all these pictures is that to explain what is the involvement of naval architects in estimation and invoicing job profile. Basically, in our team, we have at least 60 to 70% of our team is naval architects who is doing all the bid preparation. So what is the main job responsibility of estimation and the invoicing team? They are called as estimators or invoicers who do the bid preparation in the commercial department. Their main profile is to analyze and interpret the technical specification and drawings which we get from the owners. If the drawings and details are not enough, then we arrange a site inspection to take more details of the repair scope. Once that is taken, then the next scope is to prepare the MTO reports and documentation. Along with that, we have to liaise with vendors and subcontractors to take various other prices. Then we have to liaise with various departments. The estimation team liaises with various departments like the production team, the electrical department, the machine shop, to take the input while preparing the prices. Then they prepare the bill of quantities, prepare the commercial tender documents. At the same time, we have to do the risk and the cost analysis. Once everything is finished, we have to take the approval from management team for the bid proposal made. Once it is approved, it is sent to the clients for negotiation. And then later, when the job is confirmed, the contract is made. So this whole process, starting from point one till the end, it's all done by the estimation department in a shipyard, in a ship repair division department. So I have made a small process flow chart which shows how this flow happens from the job inquiry along with the sales team. Then that is the feasibility check, risk, all the parties involved. One, if it is feasible, the quote is prepared. If it is not feasible, it is declined to the owners, management approval, and the offer is sent to owners for approval. So the entire process, we can get involved in this. The naval architects are involved. So in all the estimation department of the companies, the estimation team consists of either a naval architect, a mechanical engineer, or a marine engineer. So we have a lot of opportunities to work in a ship repair industry. Similarly, the sales team, once the offer is sent to the owner, it is the sales team who follow up. So if we have work experience, enough experience in commercial department, whether it is estimation or invoicing, we can take our position in sales team as a sales manager. It is a sales manager who is following up with the clients for the approvals. And once it is approved, when the job order is confirmed from the client, there is a job file opened, and all the documents, including the bid, the drawings, the planning, the MEMTOs, everything is transferred to the operation department to execute it. And it is executed, and finally the invoice is raised. So along with the production team also, there is a commercial process involved, because although the quote is given to the owners while invoicing, while the job is executed, there are a lot of additional variations and other prices which has to be taken care. So that is taken care by the invoicing team along with the production team. So even in invoicing sections, we can contribute. The invoices, many of the invoices who are working are naval architects and mechanical engineers and marine engineers. So all these areas, whether it is sales department, estimation, or invoicing, or all these departments, we can contribute ourselves. So I think the main purpose of showing all these examples is these are the areas where we can try our interest. If many people are interested in production, in ship repairs, and even in commercial, we have a lot of opportunities. Even in Albody Diamond, I think around out of the total 20 estimation and invoices, like 60 to 70% is our naval architects from CUSAT universities. So I think many people might not be aware the naval architecture importance in commercial industry. So this is just to give a highlight that you can, if interested, and you can try yourselves in commercial sections also. As Praveen and Sudesh said, we have a lot of opportunities. So see which areas your interest is, try 2-3 areas, check your interest, whether you're interested in production, shipbuilding, or consultancy, design calculations. Then once you're interested and your interest, you can join any of these sections, which has been shown by our Praveen and Sudesh. Thank you. Thank you. Sudesh and Praveen.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jimmy. It was very interesting to see the slides. And just if you have not slept, I don't know if you are all with energy. If you have some more energy there, I can just explain from an owner's side how the initially our industry is a spiral industry. The demand comes from a client, then the designer comes into picture, the shipyard comes into the picture, then the operation or team comes into the picture, then the repair, the ship repair industry comes into the picture. So it's actually our industry is all interconnected, I would say. We need everyone to work together. So from our side in the oil and gas segment, the first and the foremost request comes from the client, like a major client, like it can be like Aramco or Qatar Gas. All these major clients, they will come out with some tender specifications, like what are their requirements. Now, apart from the oil and gas, in the main fleet also, the owners or the clients will come with their requirements. What is the capacity of the ships they need, or what are they want to do with the ship? So, basis these requirements, we release a tender design. I mean, a concept design has to be generated. And basis this concept design, a tender design is prepared and is released to the shipyards for bringing out a general arrangement plan or and including a technical specifications. So in all these areas, in Jimmy's presentation also pointed out the interest of the commercial. A commercial angle is always involved with engineering. I would say commercial sense is included within the engineering. If commercial sense is not there, then I don't think engineering is required, because we do all this FEM analysis or all this structural evaluation, everything to do a safe and sound structure with the minimum cost. We cannot give a 10 or 12 mm plate where only an 8 mm is required, because you are wasting for money for those 4 mm. Not only money, then the entire weight will be more. And for the entire lifetime of the ship, you will end up with a much more cost scenario. So just wanted to put into your mind that a commercial sense is very much it is necessary. I would say necessary for an engineering graduate, a little bit of commercial sense. Okay, so from the owner's point of view, what we got from what we do is that we collect the data or the requirements from the major team who are going to utilize these vessels, and then prepare a tender specification and they give it to the shipyards and other design firms to develop their GA plan and the specifications, and then from there it goes. All the class societies and all those teams comes into the picture, and then it is taken forward. So this you can add something basis your stability software. It will be very interesting for them to know about the stability software. You are mute, Sudish. Sudish, you are mute. Sudish, you are mute.
Muted, Sudish.
Sudish.
Yeah. So thank you, Praveen. Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy, it was very enlightening because me also personally never had an overview to the depth of your activities. It was very sincere.
Thank you, Sudish.
So I'm very grateful to have this exposure. So I just want to add to Praveen and Jimmy. See, when I tell you how it appeared to me, because it took me personally time to realize the importance of these commercialities, as well as there is one more aspect I would add to it, is the functionalities. So when I came out of the university, I was thinking, so like most of us, probably, I think I would say at least very smarter guys they would always conceive this importance of commercial as well as the functional things in the real world. But when I look back, for me, it was all about design and engineering was all about technical things. Hello? So am I stuck? Hello? Am I stuck?
No, sir. No,
Can
sir.
you hear me?
Yes, Sudish, we can hear you.
Okay. So when I passed out, like rightly Praveen pointed out, during curriculum, we are learning various ways of various engineering techniques and engineering methods and engineering calculations. So when I passed out, at that point, my understanding of design was it's all about exhaustive engineering. What do you say? It's all about extensive engineering techniques and going conservative. But over the time, what I could realize is ship design is is about giving maximum features or giving maximum functionalities to the vessel at the minimal cost. And so, as Praveen mentioned and Jimmy mentioned, this commercials is the most important aspect, because the difference between a good designer and a bad designer is it is not about knowledge. The knowledge difference of all the established design firms, they would be sharing same kind of knowledge. But the difference is a good designer, he is able to give a ship design which can give more operational features to the ship at a much lesser cost. So a designer who gives less features, less functional features at a more cost, not only we are not telling about his own cost. Like many of the Western designers are regarded as good designers, because everybody knows they are expensive. Their design cost may be expensive, but when a owner like Praveen or like a yard like Jimmy's, when they construct the vessel, these designs, the overall cost of the project becomes much lesser, and it can give much superior features. So this is something which I could realize over the course of experience. So as in my opinion, being conservative is not really correct for a designer or for anybody. Like owner also won't respect, even definitely Praveen can add to it, they will have more respect for a designer. So they are not telling about it's not about a designer who cuts the corners we are not saying that a designer should not be, he should underdo the work, but a designer who ensures just compliance. He ensures everything is compliant, but without margins. And the maximum benefit of the dead weight or the space or the regulatory compliance, it's all, the cost is brought to the minimal, and the owner is given the maximum space, maximum ergonomics, and maximum operability, and maximum, what I would say, dead weight. That is where the design is respected by the owners, and it is seen as a good design. This is some insights which I want to share. And regarding the stability software, what Praveen was mentioning, I would mention about a larger objective in today's maritime of making vessels digital. Like when we passed out of the college, we were having just those traditional mobile phone, because we were when we passed out in 2000, mobile phones just came to India. At that point of time, it was world also. It was a new technology, relatively new technology, these mobile phones. So all our first phone was just a mobile phone, which could only call, and we could make text. It was very expensive. But now, moving forward, now when we look back, many of you may not have seen the kind of mobile phones which we first bought. That is the way world moves. So now, mobile phone is our assistant. They can do as many things as possible, make us our work, minimize our work. Bank is coming to our hand. When ticket booking is coming to our hand, almost everything. I think even a big meeting can come to our hand. So everything has come to an individual's hand. So this is how everything got digitalized. So something similar is happening in ships. Ships have been traditional for so many years. Now there is a thrust to digitalize each and every operations of the vessel, so that ships become smart. So towards this, we were fortunate to have had certain specific ship software products, and we have our own ship stability and loading software, which was originally a regulatory requirement for big vessels to assess the strength. But now, of late, considerable effort has been put into this software to make it like a technology with a lot of operational features, and through which the captain can simulate the operations of the vessel, and they can minimize his efforts. Like he's all these. In the past, they had to do a lot of exhaustive calculations of stowage planning, stability, strength, then this ballasting, then all these kind of operations they have to do manually. And now they're assisted by a software which can also communicate with various instruments on board. So he's assisted by a smart software or a technology by which their efforts are minimal and they can do without human errors. So this is where with Jana Marine, Cyber has been working closely, and we were, and in fact, on a personal level, both of us were collaborating. We have been collaborating, and the Jana's new fleet of these lift boats or jackup vessels are equipped with Cybermarine's stability software. So technology is one area which is with that way. Naval architects have not explored the potential of digital technology. It is more about naval architecture based IT. I am not saying general IT. Even our maritime also has a requirement of specific information technology or specific software. So this is where nowadays new generation is very much savvy with all kind of technology, and they can everything they can actually mesmerize us with the use of technology. And nowadays things have become much more easier. Even like when we passed out, even coding also has to be learned. Languages had to be learned, and we had to do coding in a much more traditional manner. Now with AI agents and advanced features like optical coding, and with lot of ready modules available online, it has become much more easier nowadays. So today, the demand is not to learn some computer language and to make coding. It is all about conceiving or designing software, or they also call IT architecture. Software architecture is all what is needed. So this is one area, and there is a huge thrust happening all over the world to digitalize each and every operation of the vessel, by which to make the marine crew free of their headaches of doing all these things manually, like how a mobile land phone has evolved to crude mobile phone, what we use now, to the latest smartphone, what is all in all your hands. Ships also are ships also are warranting smart naval architects like you to help ships to become smart ships. This is what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Yes, Sudesh, that is correct. As you said, the technology has come to that level that now sitting in the office, a ship owner can watch all his vessels, all the fleet vessels parameters sitting in the office, even monitor the engine fuel consumption, which generator is on, which generator is off, what's the consumption going on. All these things can be monitored from within the office. So this is in general in the industry, it is called a digitalization of the shipping industry, we would say. And in this aspect, I don't know, you must have also heard about the digital twin. Sudesh, you can something brief about this digital twin. Are you involved, your company involved with the digital twin preparing?
Right. See, towards this, we are also pursuing certain limited digital twin. In the sense, the ship's operation can be divided grossly into marine engineering and naval architecture. So we are, as a company, focusing more on the naval architecture side of things. But there are companies who are focusing also on the marine engineering. So two pursuits are going parallel, and at some point they will converge. So by digital twin, now owners, they want some kind of digital equivalent of all their vessels at their end, through which they can monitor what is happening on board. And these digital twins, they communicate regularly with the vessel, and its monitoring of the vessel becomes very easy. Vessels become very easy. So all the latest vessels, they are all equipped with top-notch, the state-of-the-art instruments which can give out signals, and it's also called as smart interfaces. So the softwares nowadays, there is a requirement to have smart interfaces which can communicate with all the instruments on board through protocol, through various IT protocol, and they can take all these data inside, and they can virtually simulate a vessel's operation in the screen, and which will give the owner an up-to-date picture of what is going on board. This is the limited kind of digital twin what we are pursuing. So definitely, this is something. I would say this area is not traditional. It is hinging on traditional, but this is the future. So there will be a lot of opportunities coming up, and this could be really a potential area for many of you who are having an interest in this kind of.
So Sudesh, in this aspect, because I mean, as this digital twin and the most of the equipments in the ships and everything, wherever is coming with these protocols, and because of digitalization, now the classification societies have come up with the cybersecurity. Cybersecurity
Right.
is the latest discussion in the shipbuilding industry, where in 2024, I believe, the cyber security has become mandatory for all the ships, where every flag and even the class societies above are making it mandatory for all ships above 500 GT to have this cyber security requirements. It comes in various levels, like CS1, CS2. Every classification societies have their levels of cyber security. So this is to ensure, people, or what I understand is that nobody should be able to take the control through the net, because the digitalization has become so great that each and every moving asset, like a ship, it is controlled very much from within the office of the ship owning company, and all the measures are now being taken care through these cyber security requirements, so that undue access or unauthorized access into the ship's system is avoided. So, so this is something latest that is being
Right.
implemented in the industry.
This is another new upcoming area which throws a lot of opportunity. Adding to Praveen, of course, my understanding is limited. As I mentioned, now there is an effort going on all over the world to make ships more and more digital. But it's also called as maritime digitalization. The classical word what is used is maritime digitalization. But there is another side to it. As mobiles, as phones have become smart, the cyber fraud also has increased, or the hacking of the phone. Those unwanted activities also have increased. So similarly, as ships are becoming more and more digital, ships are also becoming more and more vulnerable to cyber threats. So this new area of cyber security is being demanded to handle this particular issue. So now, like in the land assets, land industry has got established cyber security procedure and procedure in place. So similarly, ships also have to be secured against cyber attacks. So it is more like traditionally our safety was mostly about life saving, firefighting, and what would I say, and visibility and navigation. Now, cyber security also has become another aspect of safety. So there is a huge potential in this digital segment. One is it throws a lot of job opportunities, but there is also plenty of opportunity to become innovators. So now, as we look now, more and more students coming out of universities are becoming innovators. They come up with fabulous products which can literally amaze or mesmerize old timers like us. When we passed out, people were mostly looking for a job. But nowadays, there are many people are looking at innovating something for themselves. So this is, I hope, definitely many of you would be having that taste, or many of you would be having that kind of motivation and drive to innovate. So this probably may be a good area for you to pursue that, this maritime digitalization and associated requirements. So I'm passing to Jimmy.
Jimmy, you can how in the ship repair industry is something this kind of digitalization or things? How is the impact is happening there? Is there something specific which we can share? Jimmy, can you hear us?
Jimmy got stuck, I think.
Hello, Jimmy.
No, say there is some issue with the network. I can't hear you all. Some issue with the networking. You can hear me?
Your video is getting stuck. We can hear you, right?
But that's what I can't understand what from last 5 minutes there is some disturbance thing, some issue.
Okay. Jimmy, now you can hear us, right? No, we were talking about the digitalization. We were talking about the digitalization and cyber security happening in the maritime industry. So is there something you want to add in the ship repair industry about this digitalization or a cyber security kind of thing?
From a shipyard perspective.
Yeah, from a shipyard's perspective.
Probably we can switch off our video so that he probably may help. Let me try.
Praveen, I can't hear you.
Jimmy, now you can hear us?
Yeah. Can you repeat?
Yes. Jimmy, we were discussing on the digitalization and cyber security, maritime digitalization extra happening in the shipbuilding industry. So in this aspect, do you wish to add something about this digitalization in the shipyard, from a shipyard or ship repair perspective? But is anything of interest?
Digital in ship repair right now there is nothing much, but shipbuilding I'm not much updated about shipbuilding.
Okay, yeah. So basically, it is from the operations point of view, from the ship owner's point of view now, now to monitor the complete fleet from the office. the digitalization is really happening across the industry, so that everybody can see the ship's performance and even monitor the ships, even to the edge into the consumption of the fuel, right from sitting in the office. So
Praveen.
that is happening. Yeah.
Praveen, I'll add to that one point.
Ah.
In ship repair section, especially in our shipyard, we have introduced one mobile app. In that app, what is the peculiarity of the app is that in that app, you can hear?
Yes, yes.
You can hear me?
Yes, yes.
We have introduced a mobile app. So all the vessels which is docked in our shipyard, so all the superintendents and the owners representative, if we are given access to them through our yard, they can access all the repair activities, the reports, the photographs, everything they can access through that particular mobile app, whether they are at the office or outside the country. That is, we started last year and it is working very well.
Yeah, that is very interesting. That is good. Yeah.
That is a new thing which we have started. It's I think it's a new idea which our FPO has initiated and is working very well. If, for example, the superintendent is busy, he need not come to the yard to see all the progress of this thing. If you want some reports, we can share to him via through his app, and he can go through reports. He can give us the go ahead without inspecting the vessel.
Correct.
That is one
That's
thing
good.
of digitalization where there is no physical inspection and paperwork involved. You can,
Correct. So I think an exposure to this digitalization and this, the is almost like a mandatory as you move forward. So the students and all actually, even though if it is not your passion, that it is you can't avoid this
correct.
digital life as you go forward. It has become embedded in your life, and even from the
And you have to
shipyard.
be updated also with that.
Yes, wherever you have to, you go to get some experience and exposure in this digitalization kind of a thing. Yeah.
Correct. Right, sir. Right.
Just add to another equivalent area, another area of interest similar to digitalization is maritime digitalization, and there is another upcoming fast-moving area is maritime decarbonization. Like I would say, they are cousins. Another area which is happening now, where there are a lot of opportunities which are going to come is maritime decarbonization. Like it is analogous to automobiles. Like you see cars, when we passed out, it was all petrol and diesel. Now you are seeing a lot of electric cars all over the places. Plus, there is also hybrid electric, which are all of them are the objective is to minimize the emissions, carbon emissions, and make the earth more and more greener. So similar happening is similar thoughts or similar pursuits at a large scale is happening in maritime as well, which is backed by regulatory pressure. IMO is pushing for decarbonization of ships. You would be definitely knowing these things, but bear with me if you're getting bored. So there is a huge new design. There are talks about new ship designs which are electric, which are hybrid electric. Hybrid electric means they are using similar to car. They use normal when the engine operates, the battery is charged, and battery is used during low power operation. Like hybrid electric is happening in ships, and there are designers working on alternative fuels like using methanol instead of diesel, hydrogen as a fuel, ammonia as a fuel, and people are also thinking of tapping renewable energy. Many ships are coming up with wind assistance. So my background is incidentally, it was just a coincidence. My background picture is a ship which is installed with wind assistance. We can see big sails, vertical rotor, similar to rotor sails are installed on this vessel. This was one project done by us. So these e-sails are provided by an innovator. We have done the integration design on these tankers. It's basically of Maersk tankers. So this is another area. Decarbonization is happening in a big way. It is supposed to happen it will continue to happen in a very big way on ships, and it is going to throw a lot of opportunities for innovation, for technology, and for new concepts and everything, So this is another area where whether we like it or not, we have to accept it. Decarbonization and digitalization. Like
Correct.
for a personal experience, I personally was never good with this technology, even including like things like smartphones. But now there is no other choice but to accept it and using it and to use it. That is
Yeah,
all.
correct.
Continue, please.
And I don't know if all of you have visited the electric ferry which was built by Cochin Shipyard and is being operated by KMRL, I mean Kochi Metro. It is of interest, it is fully, it is running on battery.
Correct.
Sudish, the metro boats.
Yeah, right. Small,
The
those
metro boats
metro
are
boats. That's good.
running on battery.
And-
Now the batteries are now getting into even it is getting into trucks. Even the trucks are being operated in batteries. Electric trucks are very much in place. Jimmy, I believe, I think Daman is building a lot of electric trucks, right?
Yeah, fully agree. And recently we have completed and Daman has designed for electric trucks, and we have delivered to some of the owners here. Purely
Electric, fully
electric,
electric.
100%. Yeah.
100%
Another one thing
electric.
I'd like to add is that we also had converted what Sudesh said, like hybrid. The vessel is running on engine, we added the battery system. Hybrid vessel, similar conversion. So we had opportunity to convert 2 vessels of, I think, Robi as hybrid vessel last year. So it is happening.
Okay.
Owners are giving a thought for all changing their
Yes.
fuel consumption less and to use batteries for future boats
Correct.
and small vessels, especially for small vessels.
Correct. So this digitalization, cyber security, and this renewable energy.
Renewable energy.
These are the 3 areas which are undergoing dramatic or a big change or that is currently the talk of the town and being implemented in every segment within the industry. So you need to concentrate on these areas, because when you come out into the industry, an exposure of these 3 elements will be required. Will be demanded, I would say, in any aspect, even from shipyard level onwards. This knowledge will be of help to you. And Jimmy was explaining about that ship lift system. If any of you want to see a ship lift system, recently Cochin Shipyard has inaugurated a 6,000-ton ship lift. Not in the shipyard premises, but in Cochin port area. It is in action. You can actually go and visit it, and you see it in actual operation. It can, I think it can take vessels from up to 130 meter long. It can lift 6,000 ton is the capacity. It's a brand new ship lift system.
Yeah. I think it's in the international facility of Cochin Shipyard. The new ship lift. Previously it's all the old shipyard is having the graving system, but the new facility is having the ship lift because of many advantages, as I said.
All the things which you told for that easy repair and everything, that international ship repair facility. Correct. I think our students must to go and have a look into. Must to visit that.
We'll take some questions.
Correct.
I think.
Shafat,
Yes.
Please feel free to ask any questions. Hopefully we could add some insights to your some value to your thoughts. We hope, and please do ask us any questions.
I think they are tired.
I think probably all of you are tired. I think.
Actually, you have a representative from the shipyard, from the owner, and from the designer. So we 3 are from different respective parts of the industry: shipyard, ship owner, and a designer. Designer or a consultant. So any doubts or any questions which you want to share, which you want to ask, please feel free to ask.
Please feel free.
Shafat, you can start with something.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Good
Yes.
evening.
So my name is Navneet. I'm from the 49th batch. Sir, earlier in the slides you... Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, we can hear you.
So earlier in the slides you showed about the working in the shipyards and all. Can you explain why you opted shipyards as a career? Like, what is the advantage of working in a shipyard as compared to working in another other firms such as consultancies and all?
I think the question is to me, correct?
Yes, sir.
Mm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, see, I would like to start because I initially started with Sudesh in a consultancy. Then I was doing all this design calculations and office and this whole design part. So I was liking it, but finally that interest was not that. I wanted to move to production. So when I got opportunity in Kochi Shipyard, I moved to Kochi Shipyard. But I was initially posted in marketing design and forward design. So again, it was the same thing I was doing in Cybermarine. But I had no choice. I worked there for 1 year, and later I asked our Madhu sir to shift me to production. And he was happy to shift me because as a youngster, I wanted to be in production, learn the various aspects of shipbuilding, like starting from the design, how the drawings come to a workshop, how the preparation of the plate is done, the forming of the plate, the cutting of the plate, the edge preparation, how the plate is fitted, welded, how the joints are made. So I asked Madhu sir, and Madhu sir helped me to move to hull production. So when I moved to hull production, I was really interested because of the various activities acting in the floor shop. All the missionaries, I was able to get an experience face to face, and I could get the difficulties day to day. So I could get involved in that. I could involve myself. And later, when I came to Dubai, I had no option. But again, it was the repair side I chose. In repair also, it's the live experience we get. And my personal interest was to go for either a shipbuilding production or repair production. But in UAE, shipbuilding production is very less. It's happening less. We have very few yards in UAE who are really building ships. I think now it's Diamond Shipyard Sharjah who's building ships. Other than that, and dry docks, and to some extent it is Grandwell. But it's all the repair opportunities. So I had no choice but to move to ship repair, where also I was introduced in production. So I went to production, and finally I ended up with commercial plus production. It is the vast experience we get, live experiences, which I was interested. That's why I chose repair side production than the design part.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
This is that individual element, what we were trying to tell. Everybody has different taste. Like somebody likes biryani, somebody likes payasam, somebody else like ice cream. We cannot help it. We are born like that with various tastes.
So my suggestion is try your interest in few areas in the beginning. In the first few years, you are open. Try in design, try in repair production, and then see how your taste goes, where you're interested, you want your passion. So then continue with that. By 3 or 4, within 2 to 3 years, you should find your passion in which area. Once you finalize that, then stick to that. Do expert like Sudesh did. Sudesh, I think from day one is with the design consulting. It was his passion. So he has been there. He has taken all the degrees there, which we are not able, and finally he is still the happiest person there.
Or I would say I was not smart enough to afraid to try other things. You can also say like that.
You are not smart. I know it's your passion, design, and it's your interest. Others will not remain so long in that company.
I had some liking, of course.
Let's take some more questions. Let us take some more questions. Sudesh, we'll take some more questions.
Sure. We are here.
Yeah.
We are here. As long as at the
good evening, sir.
we are here.
Yes.
Sir,
we all have taken some energy drinks for you, so don't worry.
Sir, I am
Yes,
Shafar.
go ahead.
Sir, what are the possibilities of AI in future shipbuilding?
AI in shipbuilding.
Yeah, AI.
I can put some light related to ship repairs because last 20 years I'm working with ship repair and commercial. So last year, because everything is utilizing AI, so our shipyard, our management team decided to do some research how we can apply AI in ship repair industry. So we had a specialist coming from overseas and giving a class and checking the feasibility how we can apply. And finally, what we ended up is that our management team decided is that we can apply AI in some specific areas, not in the mainstream of ship repair, like HR or procurement. But the mainstream, like the design part, the production part, AI application is still under discussion. How can we apply it?
Can I add something here, Jimmy? See, in general, what we are seeing is that AI will be vastly adopted in those aspects of work across disciplines which are of repetitive nature or
Correct.
which is dependent on the database or the history. Because these two repetitive work or the work or decision making which depends on the history is what something AI is damn good. But all works, all areas, the works have certain element of originality. Some of the tasks are original in nature. Of course, there we cannot. That is where, as Jimmy said, AI cannot be used unconditionally. So AI will be like a bot, like a lot of like if now we suppose we are working with 10 guys, tomorrow we can work with 3 guys, and well complemented by a lot of AI tools. That is how it appears. And definitely in ship operations, AI is going to come because ship operation is basically the experience. Operation is all about the experience learned over years. And many of the tasks are repetitive. Of course, there is a judgment part to it. The judgmental part cannot be replaced. Those captains, chief engineers, all will be there. But those regular part will be highly taken over by AI. Like in with regard to ship digitalization, like I was what we were as we mentioning, those software or new design of digital tools, systems, new software, those design or architecture part will be still with naval architects, but those having a design, converting the design to just writing codes to coding can be taken over by maybe highly to large extent. Other than the niche part of it, those routine coding will be taken over by AI. But those design, the original part will remain. Same applies to ship design also. This regular or routine exhaustive engineering can be a large amount taken over by AI, but those original conceptualization and those kind of things still, those creative part, still naval architects would be still required. This is our understanding. Praveen, you want
Here, I can add one thing here. For example, like when you are using engines, main engines or generators, after specified hours, it requires overhauling, changing filters, changing liners. So the industry was using in the previous years of changing all these things basis the hours or time consumed. Now, with many of the engines and tools are coming up with the sensors embedded in it, which is connected with AI, and when you want to change the liner or when you want to change a particular equipment, companies are using AI to predict, or I would say predictive maintenance. Like when the AI is used to a level to predict when the engine is about to failure or when and which part of the engine needs a replacement, basis its kind of operation or how the equipment is used, rather than utilizing the earlier methods of so many number of hours is run. Okay, you change the the filter, liners, and so many things. Now, in order for more optimization, I can see AI is slowly being used to find the optimum time when you have to do the overhauling of these engines and things like that, or in all the mechanical parts. This I see this happening.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm Amin Yasser from Batch 50. Sir, you mentioned a new sector called offshore renewable. What kind of fuel will be extracted and how? Sir?
Pardon?
You mentioned about a new sector called offshore renewable, right?
Yes, yes.
What kinds of fuel will be extracted and how?
See, offshore renewables is basically, it's a new area which is looking at extracting energy from offshore renewable sources. Like one of the major source energy source, what they're trying to tap is wind energy. So initially, the offshore there's a sub industry called offshore wind. So it started with fixed wind because initial offshore wind farms were near to the shore. So it was predominantly fixed structures, which is the extension of civil engineering. So now countries like Europe and UK, which has extensive marine wind energy density, they have gone big way into offshore wind. Like they started with fixed winds, but now what is happening near to the coastlines are getting populated with lot of wind farms. And now there is also objection from the presidents because see many people like beach views. Many people have bought plush locations for a fortune near to the beach to see those scenery. But now, as these are becoming more and more, you wake up in the morning and you see a lot of offshore wind turbines. So there is something called, they call it visual pollution, and there is also something called bird hits. All the birds which are near to the shore, they are getting hit by offshore winds. There's also noise pollution. So because of all these problems, these are associated issues. See, any new thing will have an associated. There are two sides to everything. So there is a push for them to move to deeper waters. And as it becomes deeper and as it moves more and more away from the shore, it cannot be fixed. It becomes floating. So nowadays there is a lot of still it's an upcoming industry. A lot of research innovation is happening in floating wind, but there's a huge demand of naval architects. That is one thing is right away extracting wind, which is the quickest and ready source of energy and proven energy. Wind turbines are in place for windmills, wind turbines. This wind energy utilization has been in place for now almost more than 1,000 years. Like windmills were there for long time, since long time. So that is one. But now they're adding. So okay, once you are having a platform, floating platform there, which can produce energy from the wind, why don't you also produce energy from the waves? Because waves are having very high amount of energy. As we can see, anything what is floating, it cannot be still. It will still move. Anything floating, even if it is in pond or if it is in the port, wherever there is water, something is floating. It will have at least some minimal motion. So the energy of the waves are very high. So there are these floating bodies. People are also looking at putting wave energy devices by which as the waves oscillate these bodies, they try to capture those energy. But the problem is waves are so energetic, the extreme waves can destroy this kind of devices. So that is one area. And people are also looking at floating solar because in the sea there is no obstruction from trees or there are no obstructions from trees or buildings. So it's directly under the sun. So people are looking at big floating solar farms. China is much ahead in this area, and also current, like UK itself, the waters of UK, Europe, Gulf of Mexico. There are a lot of current flow happening, like because of in the river mouth or because of this temperature variation. There are large ocean currents. So people are also looking at they call it tidal turbines or current turbines. They are equivalent to wind turbines, but these are put reverse below the hull. So it is similarly how the turbine is how the turbines are activated by wind. Current will activate and instigate and initiate the rotation of these current turbines, which also can extract energy. These are things what are happening nowadays. I hope I was able to answer you. And India also is having big plans to extract offshore wind. And Gujarat is having plenty amount of huge tidal energy, And then the oil and gas is very efficient because as we know, that is the most efficient of the fuels, diesel or petroleum products. The energy density is very high, but when the whole world is talking about decarbonization, offshore oil and gas is still happening. We cannot displace it, but at the same time, these floating renewables are also promoted. So one side we are having offshore oil and gas giving traditional jobs, but there are not so much of research R&D happening. Like 20 years back, it was upcoming, but it has become now static, and now offshore renewables are becoming more a dynamic or state-of-the-art industry segment, which definitely will throw a lot of opportunities.
And a good knowledge on the electric. I would say most of these energies what we are taking from the wind wave, and everything is coming as electric energy. So
Yeah.
a good knowledge in electrical engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, sufficient amount of knowledge is will be demanded from everybody. I think you need to really have the basics of electrical and electronics engineering. Keep it sound. It will help you as you go forward.
Is all this energy what is produced from renewable sources, they're converted as electrical energy, and they're given directly to the energy grid, land grid. So still, the renewable energy is used for land electricity. But to the future, definitely all the ships will be in due course. Ships will be fitted with renewable energy because they are in the water. They are in fact, if there will be definitely some devices coming up by which ships directly will extract this energy, like this wind sail. What is seen on the background picture of mine, they are still, so it's wind assistance, renewable assistance. Still, it is this ship is having it's on diesel propulsion, diesel engines and propellers, but some 20 to 30% of energy is supplemented or is assisted there. As the energy demand is assisted by the wind as well during good weather, favorable weather.
Any more questions?
Good evening, sir. My name is Gautam Krishna from 14 and the batch. So you said that the shiplifting facility, it initially takes a good initial investment, right? So my question is that how does this shiplifting facility work when compared with a traditional graving dock or a floating dock in terms of efficiency and operational cost? Also, how long does it usually take to take the initial investment to pay off itself, and like how safe it actually is when compared to these traditional docking facilities?
Yeah, this using ship lift, the initial cost is a little higher compared to graving dock, because first thing, we should have a huge area, because we should have around a lot of repair berths. If you want to dock more vessels, we have to add more repair berths. Each repair berth based on the capacity of the ship lift. Example, if you are making a ship lift of 120-meter length, then we should have a repair berth, 6 or 7 or 9, what we're planning. So there is a lot of land area which we require. Then civil works has to happen. The reinforcement has to happen. The rail system, then the transfer pit, the ship lift itself is a big investment, because we have to do a lot of digging works, civil works, reinforcement. Then that's the equipment. Then that is all civil works. Then comes the equipment. To lift a ship lift, we should have heavy duty winches based on the capacity of the maximum load which we have to ship. Example, if we have to lift 5,000 tons of ship, we should have around minimum 6,500 capacity ship lift with some allowance. So the platform itself is a huge steel structure with wooden packing and blocks, and the wire ropes, the winches, the control tower, and all these things. When we added, the initial cost compared to a graving dock is higher, but still, even though we invest in a ship lift, the returns we are getting is huge, because at a time, example, in Daman Shipyard Sharjah, we have around 7 repair berths. So if you take the full length of the ship lift, 120, we can dock 7 vessels parallelly, and we can do repairs on each vessel simultaneously. So the revenue we are gaining is, example, in a graving dock, if you dock 2 or 3 vessels, here we are docking 6 or 7 big vessels. So the revenue wise is huge, and we can easily recover in 7 to 10 years span of the industry. Starting from the operation, within, I think, maximum 6 to 7 years, the entire cost is recoverable. And some thing regard safety also we can take care, because if you do a proper study of the drawings, there is a docking team who prepare the cradle arrangement. They do the detailed study of the drawings. The cradle is prepared, so it is all the dimensions are checked, whether it is equally placed, the packings are correct, and when the vessel is sitting on the dock blocks, it is again re-verified by the docking team. And in still we have a doubt, then there is a diving team who go and verify whether it is sitting properly on the blocks. Once everything is verified, then only we lift the ship up. So safety, even though there are some negatives, it can be taken care.
Sir, could you please also mention about the maintenance of this facility also?
Yeah, mainly maintenance is civil works. Okay, once we invest, then it runs. There is no much of this thing. But the equipments is a routine overhauling. Same like our car. There is a routine maintenance every yearly or every 2 yearly. The winches has to be overhauled, the wires has to be renewed or to be tested. So that is all the routine cost which we have to do. So in the graving dock, there is no much cost involved like that. But here the cost is a little expensive. But it is worth comparing to the returns we are getting compared to a graving dock.
Yes. That is why the Cochin Shipyard has recently went for this facility, because the graving dock was actually a bottleneck. If some ship gets into the graving dock and gets stuck there, you can't get any more ships inside, and all the ships will be in queue. Here, you just take one ship and you can move the ship to a different location and again go and serve another ship. So it's much more efficient than a graving dock for up to around 5,000 or 6,000. Depends on the capacity also. But higher ships cannot. I think for bigger ships cannot. No, I mean there is a limitation to this facility, right?
Yeah. But one more thing I'll add to Praveen is that using a ship lift, we cannot dock VLCCs. That is very clear, because the cost to build such a big ship lift is very huge. So the maximum length of vessel which we can dock or we can invest as a owner to build for a ship lift is maximum, I think, around 150 to 160. 150 to 160. Right now we are using up to 130, we can say. One more bottleneck, see, graving dock has its negative, because we can dock limited number of vessels and undocking is like one day everything has to be moved out. But in ship lift also there is a bottleneck. If the ship lift is not operational due to some issues, then the entire vessel is blocked. But for that, this thing is that we have to do regular maintenance of the equipments, which is going to affect the operation of the ship lift, mainly the winches, the wire ropes, the rails, everything. But that is all routine. How you maintain a car, long duration, regular maintenance checks. So once you do regular maintenance, regular checks, there is no issue. We can easily sort it out. But you don't take care of that, the ship lift is gone, then the entire vessel is on the repair berth. Then it is worse than a graving dock. Because to get it done, because I would like to share one thing. Due to one small issue, we had few days the ship lift was not operational, but the entire vessels on the graving dock was idle. Once it finished the repair, it was like there's no choice to undock it. So we have some negatives, but the only thing to overcome is regular maintenance checks, QC checks, which we have to regularly without delay. Once we do that, then it is right.
It is like the traditional method is always cost but less efficient. Advancement comes with it's much more efficient, but it comes with a price, cost of man. Like when we were doing those physical, when we passed out, we were all doing engineering was all manual, right? All hard copy. Now with soft copies, things have become much quicker, much faster, much efficient. But if you don't take backups, if it goes, everything goes, right? So same applies here. So we have to be up to date on this maintenance or those kind of seconds. That's true. That's understood.
Yeah, we have a detailed overhauling and checks manuals, we have a separate team, maintenance team, to oversee all these activities happening, and checks are done, regular spare parts ordering before. And then all the spare parts which we cannot order on an issue, we have to keep all this spare wire ropes, spare parts for the winches, everything stocked for a few years. So anything happen, we can take care of it.
Understood. So there is a small cost of you do preventive maintenance. So there's a cost of it, but if you don't do that, the breakdown cost can be catastrophic, right? That is
it can be catastrophic. Fully agree, and it is disaster. But it should not happen. We have a team regularly for this maintenance.
And this lift is not only limited for ship repair. In L&T Shipyard, Kattupalli, Chennai, this is used for the new building also. I mean, for launching the vessels, it is widely used for all the offshore supply vessels, because we have contracted many years back around 10 vessels to L&T Shipyard, Kattupalli. All the vessels were launched using the ship lift facility. They don't have I don't think they have a graving dock there. It was launched using Shiplift. It was very efficient, very smooth. And if at all you want to take the ship back for any painting or repair, very fast.
Yeah, in Java Yard also, we have one ship lift which is assisting both ship repair and shipbuilding industry.
Shipbuilding,
Yeah, because all the ships which are built here are undocked using the same ship lift.
Correct.
Also, we have dedicated berth for shipbuilding to assemble the blocks, and I think 3 berths are only kept for shipbuilding.
Correct. Yes.
Any other questions?
Another questions?
So all of you must have skipped your tea, right? Tea and snack. Those.
Sir.
Especially very sorry for that. Okay.
So my name is Adityan C. And my doubt is that even in the case of dry docking as well as ship lift, we can efficiently repair the ship. But the problem is the ship will not be operated at the time of dry docking as well as ship lift. Like it is out of service, right? So there will be a lot of economical loss for the owner while the ship is in the out of service. So in the future, can we implement a better service which can repair the ship while it is ongoing or in the service, so it does not make much loss for the owner?
Yeah. What you said is really correct, because off-hire of a vessel is very expensive. Even 1 day charter rate is very expensive, especially for example, a supply vessel. Charter rate is around $15,000 to $20,000, right, Praveen?
Yes.
So it's per day rate in dollars. So some things has to be done, like maintenance of a car. See, we have to do at that regular period. But then we can decide which type of repair you have to do. If it is a dry docking survey due, we have to do it. There's no doubt about it. Unless that class won't allow you to sail. But if the vessel need not be docked and the other jobs can be done afloat. So I gave 3 divisions. Either first it is routine docking, which has to be done. But if vessel need not be docked, it can be brought to any of the port, or where it is coming to a container terminal for discharge of a container. We have like 20 hours, 30 hours time period for discharging this cargo. During that same duration, we can do the repair works if it is possible. Example, like a container vessel, we have cell gate renewal. It's a small job, but it will stop the operation of the vessel. This can be done parallelly along with the container operation during that 30 hours. We can do the cell gate renewal. Example is there is a motor breakdown. We can do the motor rewinding within that span. But these jobs can be done alongside without docking the vessel.
Correct. Docking is the last option. Only if required, a ship will be docked. It is very expensive item, docking and repairing.
One thing is that when vessel has to be docked, like a 5 year survey, it has to be docked. There is no doubt about it. We cannot stop it and it has to be done. But other jobs which can be done afloat, 100% we will look for afloat option, either at anchorage. And I also said we do some jobs sailing with the vessel. Example, the deck piping. The piping jobs we can do sailing with the vessel. We might sail from Jebel Ali to Singapore. We arrange a small team, like a team of few welders, fabricators, and a supervisor. Along with the material, we load all this material on the vessel inside the port without stopping the vessel during the cargo operation. Then when the vessel starts sailing, the team daily on a single shift or 2 shift, mostly it will be single shift daytime, they do the repair with the vessel sailing without affecting the charter of the vessel. This is how we do jobs which need not be docked.
Correct. And in normal course of the ship's operation, if nothing happens, it is required only every 5 years. Otherwise,
5 years.
Only 5 years interval. Docking is not required. In between. So,
but in some cases, it requires emergency docking, like suddenly the both thruster is broke down. Like
only in case of emergency. Correct.
ASD repairs there is a leaking in the stern thruster. Then there is no option, we cannot do it offload. So we dock the vessel. But still there is one other option. If it is a bow thruster and if it is a normal small job, we can trim the vessel. Bring the bow thruster above the water, do it offload without affecting and without docking the vessel. We have done similar jobs in the past. The vessel came to a port. We trimmed the vessel by stern. The bow thrust area was, I think, around 1 meter above the water line. We did offload without docking the vessel. So unless it is a must, we don't dock the vessel. Everything is done offload.
Yes,
Hi,
more
sir, good
questions?
evening.
Sir, myself Adil Abdullah. I'm from 48 batch. Sir, I guess that's a rotor type wind assisted propulsion shown in the background of Sudhish, sir. So, can you explain how's the working of wind assisted propulsion and how it help in the ship when as in the aspect of carbon emissions and energy saving?
Sure,
It's a
sure.
good question. Mm.
Thank you. It's a straightforward question, right? I think all of your questions are good. So this is like wind assistance. They're employing various technologies. The traditional one is rotor. Rotor has been in fact, rotor ships first came during First World War or something. It was rotor ships rotor propulsion is as old as 1 century. So it came in early or mid 1900. But it was later as the fossil fuels became much available. And at that point of time, this climate or this, what I would say, this climate change was not a concern. So as a more efficient energy source was found, and as the exploration, fossil fuel, this oil and gas became much more abundant. What happened? That took a backseat, and it became the fossil fuels or those. Oh yeah, it took front seat. Now with the thrust for decarbonization, the rotors are coming back again. So one technology is rotor sail, which uses it is like Magnus effect, like how a football is spun and a football is spun by a free kick. How a free kick is taken and how a football is induced a parabolic trajectory by the player. So when you have a circulation or when a rotating body is facing a flow, one side there is an increase in velocity, and the other side there's a reduction in velocity. And accordingly, where the velocity reduces, the pressure will build up, and where the velocity increases, there the pressure drops. So this differential pressure will create an athwart force, which this is the traditional how the lift is generated, like over an aerofoil. So that is rotors. When it rotates against a wind, the same thing happens, like a football when it is kicked with a spinning motion. So this differential pressure creates a force, which has got one component perpendicular to the flow, that is lift, and one along the flow, that is drag. And depending on the direction of the wind against which the ship is moving, this lift and drag again can effectively make two components. One in line with the propeller, that is, we call it thrust, and there is one perpendicular to the line of action of the propeller that we call as drift. So the thrust component will complement. It will be added, or it will supplement the thrust from the main propeller, and that gives a higher thrust to the vessel. And the drift force will make the vessel drift ideally from the course, or it can give a yaw as well, static yaw, which will be addressed by the rudder angle, as well as the drifting force is addressed by a small heading. They do a small heading correction so that the net heading of the vessel is along the course. So this is the principle. So this particular technology, what is here, it looks like a rotor, but it is not rotor. This is called a suction sail. It's all similar technologies, because various innovators come with various technology. This is called suction sail. So here what is happening is that it doesn't rotate like a rotor, but it is having fans. On one side is fitted with lot of levers or fans. So what will happen, from one side, it will suck the flow inside. From one side, wind is sucked inside. So with the flow around the one side of this sail is manipulated by suction, but the other side is as normal. So this manipulation of the flow on one side also will create a differential pressure, which will create a lift. This technology is used mainly in aeronautical industry, and they're bringing it to the maritime as well. So in terms of efficiency, as all of us know, wind is the most free of cost thing. And these vessels, these wind assistance of rotors or e-sails, this can give up to 20% reduction in carbon emissions. So, some figures, normally these ships go at 12 knots speed roughly. As you know, the power requirement is roughly, it increases as the cube of the velocity. So hypothetically, from a theoretical perspective, if they use only wind assistance, suppose they shut off the propeller, with only wind assistance, the ship would be able to move at 5 to 6 knots.
Oh,
So
that is great. That is good. Huh?
at the full assistance, it complements around 20%, 25% of the 25% of the energy demands is met by wind assistance. That is the thumb rule, you know. And further, it depends on the design, how well the innovator has optimized the sails for the vessel. And so the optimum performance is around 25%. But it is
that is a very,
expensive.
very good figure. Huh? Very good figure. Mm.
Yes. As we understand going forward, but everybody is not getting, okay? Because you have to, because at this point it's very expensive. To the optimal point, maybe we have to put four of them. But many of them are only putting 2 because of cost reasons. This comes with a huge initial investment because today it is still seen as an innovation. But going forward, as we see as designers, this is one of the perpetual solution to maritime decarbonization. Because going forward, any innovation become a regular thing. Like smartphones, when we first saw it, it was like a huge innovation. Now, smartphone is something normal, right? There are cheap smartphones available, also expensive ones. We have iPhone at maybe 1 lakh, and then there is also Chinese makes at 10,000. Both are having similar features. So going forward, 10, 20 years down the line, or even 10 years down the line, more and more wind assistance technologies are going to come, and they are going to be in use, and it is going to become a part of the basic vessel design. That is how we see it. So as a thumb rule, average, they are getting around 15%. So 2025 is ideal. Average, they are getting around 15% of fossil fuel reduction.
Another question? Any personal questions also other than highly technical? If you want to ask any മലയാളത്തിൽ ചോദിക്കണമെങ്കിലും ചോദിക്കാം. So be comfortable. Technical questions, personal questions, social questions, anything you want to ask from our experience, please.
ഞങ്ങളുടെ കുറെ പേഴ്സണൽ സീക്രട്സ് ഉണ്ട്, അത് മാത്രം ചോദിക്കാൻ മതി. ഞങ്ങൾ പഠിച്ചിരുന്ന കാലത്തല്ലേ.
Sir, I'm Rishikesh from batch 50. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ കുറെ നാളായിട്ട് ക്യൂരിയസ് ആണ്, എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി, എങ്ങനെയാണ് അതിൻ്റെ വർക്ക് പ്രഷർ. ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ നിങ്ങൾ തുടങ്ങിയപ്പോഴും ഇപ്പോൾ കുറേ നാളായിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ, അപ്പോൾ ഇപ്പോഴും എങ്ങനെയാണ് അതൊക്കെ ഹാൻഡിൽ ചെയ്യുന്നത്, എങ്ങനെയാണ് ആ ഒരു വർക്ക് പ്രഷർ എങ്ങനെ ഉണ്ടാവും, ആ വർക്കിംഗ് കൾച്ചർ, എത്ര അവേഴ്സ് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടാവും, അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ.
Work pressure, Sudish.
Work pressure, of course. Work pressure is a part of the life. Okay, let me concede that first. And mainly, as we grow higher in responsibilities, like almost as we grow up higher in the responsibilities, what happens? Our physical work definitely will reduce because we'll be having team to support us. But the responsibility will bring in certain kind of pressure where you will be occupied 24/7. But that doesn't mean you are working. But then that pressure will keep on growing because, as for example, so there are many of the alumni, they have started their own company. So the kind of pressure that they will be handling will be very high. So, but the solution is if we do something what we like, we don't. Pressure is a real fact. But we don't feel that so much because we like what we do. Like, how would I say, in personal life, we don't relate it as pressure because in personal life also we are doing many things. And you can see many of you would be watching all World Cup matches. And again, next day, early morning, you may get up and go to the class to see to attend the classes. Evening, you will be having a game. Evening, you will play. And then somebody's girlfriend will call and he'll go there, we have to spend some time, and the parents will call. So in personal life, we are having all these things. Very high pressure. All of us will be having. And in today's world, with all of you are facing much more. The life has become faster, and it has become, all of you are experiencing much more information overload, technology overload than what we were experiencing. We were having more free time when we were students. So now, but in the personal space, what happens? We don't feel this pressure. So we don't feel this pressure, or there is a pressure. We don't feel stress because we like it. So similarly, one of the best ways of handling work pressure is once we get into something what we like, then we find as a challenge, See, once it is challenge, the challenge and pressure are analogous. The difference is only challenge is a pressure what you enjoy. So you don't feel like a pressure. The pressure is something which we are doing, because we don't like doing it. Somebody else is telling us. So this is the thing. And that is one of the primary thing. And other than that, what I found, as we get used to this, we all will find our own ways of handling the pressure. There are ways of handling it. So everybody will be finding their own ways of handling it. One way is that maybe we realize that some job is not what suits us. We change the job to a more another job where we will be able to handle. But I would not say there is some job with no pressure, because every job will be having its own difficulties. But if you are at the right thing, and if you are doing what we are enjoying, there may not be, then we don't feel those kind of pressure. And another way of handling work pressure is, which I would not recommend. I don't think my friends also won't recommend. Some people do adopt it, but it's a negative way. They compromise on growth in role and responsibilities. So once we accept to settle at a job forever, then after every passing year, we are becoming more and more conversant with that kind of work. And then our pressure will keep on reducing, but we have to accept monotony. But that is something I personally would not recommend. But that is also another way. Like you must have heard in our family, many people, they write in Bangalore, they give undertaking. They don't want promotion. So some people used to give undertaking. I don't want to become a manager. I don't want to become a headmaster or something. Those kind of undertaking, if you give, then that people do that. But that is something which we don't recommend, because see, all of you are highly capable. So at the end of the day, when we look back, I personally feel, or all of us, I think it will be because we are bestowed with certain capabilities by which we can of course, everybody may not become Steve Jobs, but everybody can make a mark, even if it is subtle. So I would adopt other technique, what I mentioned, since I had to answer the question I mentioned about it. Accepting a job much lower than one's own capability is one way of handling pressure, by looking at the money part of it. But that is something I won't advise it as a good model, But then, of course, Praveen or Jimmy, you can add to what I said. If you think.
No, I think you have answered well. Maybe we can take another question, or Jimmy wants to add something.
No, I fully agree with Sudesh. What Sudesh has said, 100% right.
No.
So nothing more to add. But yeah, anything. See, first thing is you have to see which area you are having passion. Should not work in a field where you don't like or you don't want to proceed. So immediately when you are into that, change it. Look it for option where you like to enjoy doing your job. And any job you do with sincerity. So doing that job with sincerity and hard work, and during the initial phase of your career, concentrate on what you're doing. Learn, take more experience, and this will reduce your pressure at later stage. And whatever you do it 100% initially. Don't take shortcuts. That is one of the best way to overcome these pressures. And rest all what Sudesh say, I'm 100% in agree with Sudesh.
Correct. And at least in nowadays, the opportunities are much more than the time when we passed out. All of us, when we were passing out, the opportunities were very limited, and we didn't have the luxury to choose what we like. Most of us had to like what we got, or like arranged marriage. So
initially we
Yeah, we developed if the passion was not there, we developed the passion.
Developed that passion. Fully agree.
That's
And
it.
also, we didn't have much campus interview during our time. Remember?
Correct.
We used to go to Bombay, arrange the interviews ourselves. I think in AB Marine, we arranged the interview through our senior because we didn't have any campus interview during that time. Then,
Correct.
because of that is how we got into some
Correct.
post initial.
So all of you have the luxury of at least selecting various, and also the field, the naval architecture opportunities have widened to many fields that now more openings are there in variety, like we spoke about. Even in the software industry, coming to software, digitalization, so many opportunities are there. So everybody with have some passion, there is opportunity for you. Sudesh?
When we passed out, now it was primarily manual. So we couldn't, there was no way to be other than those putting extra efforts, or other than finding some kind of, we were not having that kind of technology opportunity to take assistance from technology. So nowadays, this work pressure can be highly handled by using technology. Some people are doing that because, like, maybe I am not sure how it will be, whether it is correct, but what I could find, these Western universities, that is something which I want to share my own experience, because those few things like programming, all those Western naval architects, they all still get it because they are. One thing is that they are in the lecture. They were fortunate to be in that part of the world where their ancestors have worked so hard. Now they are having, they have the choice to choose what they want and to do what they minimal hours. See, we are in a developing country. We all belong to developing country, and we want our country to come up. So we cannot really emulate that Western models, what Westerners do. We should compare ourselves with those 2-3 generations back of Westerners, when they came all over the world, put so much of they gave their life to conquer the world, to make them wealthier, right? So we are not there. They are ahead of. So we have to accept certain amount of pressure. I personally feel at the start of the career, we have to accept, as that is the way we have to push ourselves to a larger goal. I am not saying like Chinese or now we should work every day 15 hours, but initially there will be some pressure, which helps us to learn also. And it helps us to explore and understand us as well, to know what we need to know. So there's a positive aspect to it. And using this opportunity to figure out our passion, and also use technology, like using technology, using some kind of programming skills. So IT skills can definitely reduce a lot of work pressure, because we ourselves, I am seeing the new naval architects working with us. Some of them are very savvy. They are able to use their own savviness to reduce the work. They can write macros, they can write small programs, they can do optical coding. And many of the repetitive work or the monotonous work, they are able to convert into some kind of a tech or software or a tool by which they can conserve the time. They are able to conserve the time for only the core work which we enjoy. So that is something. So utilization of technology also big way is also one way of reducing work pressure. Okay, and obviously initial years, and after some experience, all of you would be in some roles of responsibilities where physical work won't be there. Now, if you ask Jimmy or myself and Praveen, we are not doing many work ourselves. We have an understanding, and there's a team to support us, but we are responsible for it. So because of which we are able to take time out, and we can engage like this. But at the same time, we have put our phones on mute. So some kind of after this, all of us will be having things. So we are able to handle pressure, and the physical part being complemented by somebody. So that it will all come to all of you naturally. So no need to get afraid. No need to think so much about pressure. We have to accept some pressure, and it will make us bolder. It will make us stronger. I hope. Does it make sense?
Yeah, fully agree, Sudesh.
ഇവിടെ ഇരിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാരും മലയാളികളാണോ നമ്മുടെ ഗ്രൂപ്പിലുള്ള? ഷഫാത്ത്?
അതെ മലയാളികളാണ്
എല്ലാരും മലയാളികളാണ്.
അതെ.
അപ്പൊ കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ആൾക്കാർക്ക് സ്മോൾ പീപ്പിൾ ക്യാൻ ആസ്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ ഇതുപോലെ പേഴ്സണൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ, ടെക്നിക്കൽ അല്ലാത്തത്. ഹോസ്റ്റലാണോ? ഏത് ഹോസ്റ്റലിലുള്ളവരെല്ലാരും?
സൈബീരിയയിലാണ് മോസ്റ്റ്ലി ബോയ്സ് ഒക്കെ.
മോസ്റ്റ്ലി സൈബീരിയ. ഓക്കെ.
സൈബീരിയ ആണല്ലേ പണ്ട് തൊട്ട് ഷിപ്പീസിന്റെ സ്ഥലം. വേറെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഉണ്ടോ?
Any other questions?
നിങ്ങൾ ആരും ചായ കുടിച്ചിട്ടില്ലല്ലോ? കുടിച്ചോ?
ഞാൻ രണ്ട് ചായ
ഞാൻ ഇടയ്ക്ക് ചായ കുടിച്ചു കേട്ടോ. തെറ്റാണ് ചെയ്തത്. ഇവിടെ നിന്ന് ചായ കുടിച്ചിരുന്നു. എന്റെ അച്ഛൻ ചായ കൊണ്ടു തന്നു. ഞാൻ പ്രവീണോട് പറഞ്ഞു ഇവര് കൊണ്ടുതരുന്നു.
വേറെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഉണ്ടോ?
Any other questions?
മതിയെന്ന് തോന്നല്ലേ കഥ കേട്ട്?
ആകെ എല്ലാരും സൈഡായി തോന്നുന്നു. നമ്മൾ ഏത്
ഒന്ന് രണ്ടുപേരെ നമുക്ക് ചൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ? 2 ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചോദിക്കാൻ?
അല്ല അങ്ങനെയല്ല.
Sure,
നമ്മളൊരു
sir.
3 മണിക്കൂറോളം ഇപ്പൊ അവർക്ക് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടായിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. ഒറ്റടിക്ക് 3 പേര് കൂടിയുള്ള വധിക്കണത്. അല്ല അങ്ങനെയല്ല.
അതാണ് ദീപക് ആദ്യമേ ഓടിപ്പോയി.
ദീപക്ക് വേറെ വീഡിയോ മുങ്ങിയതായിരിക്കും.
അതെ കറക്റ്റ്. അവര് 3-4 വീഡിയോയിൽ ഇരിക്കും.
ശരി
എന്നാ പിന്നെ വൈൻഡ് ചെയ്യാം സുധീഷ്, പ്രവീണെ.
ശരി, നമുക്ക് നമ്മള് പറയാതെ പോവുക. നമ്മളായിട്ട് പറയണം തോന്നുന്നു. അവർക്ക് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ട് നിർത്താൻ പറയാൻ. ശരി, അപ്പം
ഓക്കെ.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
എല്ലാവർക്കും ഞങ്ങളുടെ എല്ലാവിധ ആശംസകളും. ഞങ്ങൾ ഇത്ര നേരം സഹിച്ചതില് വളരെയധികം നന്ദി.
One last sentence from each one of us.
Sir, on behalf of SNAS, we would like to present a certificate for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
sir.
Just want to add just one final winding of sentence. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, from my നമ്മൾ പഠിച്ചിറങ്ങി മുന്നോട്ട് ജോലി എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ഒന്നുമെല്ലാം something which I understood was that the purpose of us getting a good education from a good institution and then living together with good batchmates and then the learning experience. So I find that finally it should help each one of us to become a better human being rather than in the rat race. Now once you come out of this institution, you will also be in that rat race for making money and fame. So money and fame alone should not be your motive. We must have a conscience for becoming a better human being. So I would say, നമ്മുടെ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷനിൽ നിന്ന് പഠിച്ചിറങ്ങുമ്പോൾ you should not settle for better. I expect all of you to become the best of the human beings. So this is just my wish, and may you will eventually do a career which will help you in living and also help others to live. But in all this, once you get to the our age, maybe at least what we can say that better human being, you should not settle for what you are now. You must grow. Apart from the wealth and fame, that goodness in you must grow to the highest extent. So this is what my wish for each one of you.
That's true.
Fully agree.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
ശരി
sir.
സഫ, ഞങ്ങളെന്നാ കാണാം. നമുക്ക് അടുത്ത ആഴ്ച ഈ വീക്കെൻഡിൽ കാണാം, വെള്ളിയാഴ്ച. ഞങ്ങൾ എല്ലാവരും
Sure, sir.
ഉണ്ടാവും.
Sure.
Looking forward to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. നിങ്ങളുടെ പുറത്തേക്ക് ഇറങ്ങി എങ്ങനെയാ? പുറത്തേക്ക് ഇറങ്ങി എങ്ങനെയാ? ലീവ് ഉണ്ട്, കണ്ടു. റൈറ്റ് സൈഡിലൊരു വാതിലുണ്ട്. നമുക്ക് കാണാം കേട്ടോ. ബൈ ബൈ. Thank you, Snas. Thank you, Shaf. Thank you, all of you. Bye.